Woo! Let's get this up real quick, because that's always fun. I'm so excited about today. I'm so excited about today. I'm so excited! I'm so excited! I'm just gonna make sure all the streams are working as they need to. And I do need to I'm gonna grab one of these real quick. I had a different thing up. That was my bad. That's entirely on me. I should have had that up. There we go. Baby. There we go. I'm just putting Zippy Sound on for just a little bit while we get settled. Because I do love my Zippy Sound. How y'all doing? Ah! DT! Chesler! What's up? You finally got to make it to what it... Hey, church buddy! Hey! You finally got to make it to one of these streams. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm so happy you're here. This music is so not fitting for it. I probably should have gotten the lo-fi thing. Whatever. I like this music. We support Zippy Sound. They do royalty-free, like, fantasy-type music, and I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. But I'm so happy you're here. Ah! Story time. Look. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna check Twitch, make sure my stream is running on Twitch real quick. Give me just a moment. Because I see y'all on YouTube. I just want to make sure Twitch is running too. Oh, it is. Beautiful. Love it. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It's so cool to see y'all. Ah! Dude, and no, for real, like, the glow, I'm gonna own that. So, you guys know I went off to touch grass for, like, a few days, right? So, from Monday after that stream, to, yesterday evening, I took some time by myself. Oh, hey, does everybody have, your drinks? Have your drinks? Have you, getting cozy? I'm letting people get into chat, get cozy, grab your blanket, grab your snack. We're gonna start here in just a little bit, but I just want to make sure everybody gets to come in. Ah! Shonda! Oh my gosh! I'm so happy to see you! Oh, y'all! Oh my gosh! I haven't seen it's just like so many. Thank you! Oh my gosh! I'm so happy you're here! Oh! Look. So, I went out to touch grass. Let me finish my ADD story, because I'm so ADD. Dance, yes! Hey, you're here! I know exactly who you are. You made it. I'm so excited. Guys, I'm like really stoked. Like, I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous, but I'm very happy. This is lovely. You do not have a drink. I'm trying to digital oh, right, you're doing your digital painting, because usually we do ChillCreates and stuff, so you can come into the ChillCreate, and just like do your art, do your work and stuff. You made it! Tectonic, I'm so glad you're here. Tectonic has a stream coming up soon, so he's not gonna be able to be here for long, but thank you so much for popping in. I'm so excited. We're gonna hopefully at least get the first chapter done with you while you're still here at the stream, Tectonic, but if you have to leave early, I get it. And please pop back. I totally want you to see this, because this is such a great, I'm so excited. Still working on getting that snack. Get that snack! You ought a snack! Look, ADD is like on the nines right now. I can't focus. I'm so happy. Look, okay, so here's something, part of my nerves. I was like, nobody's gonna be in chat. I was like, I'm so scared. Like, what if nobody turns up? Erica's here! Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so happy right now. I'm not gonna cry, but I'm so happy. Erica, I'm so glad you're here. Make sure you grab your drink, okay? Get something cozy, or I don't know, get a wine, or think outside the box, get a ramen. I'm totally cool with that, because this is a stream about going outside the box. So this story is gonna have you thinking abstractly. So by all means, abstract think. But this is I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited. I'm gonna give just like a couple more minutes to let a couple other people trickle in, just in case they can make it. Um, but yeah, so the the glow that DT mentioned, I'm owning that. It's very legit for me right now. Um, I got to go touch grass, and I found out. Oh my gosh, none of these are coming up on my screen. I just realized that. I'm gonna do this. But I found out that I have gone, like, gosh, over a year. It's been like maybe a year and a half, that I have gone, without touching my piano. And I was like, what? How is that possible? Active already, cool. Alright, and then this one is active. Should be active. Okay, cool. That was totally on me. I meant for you guys to be able to see chat, and I was so excited that y'all are here. So chat should show up now, yeah? Yeah, I miss you in person too, boo. Give you hugs. Yesterday I tried, painting Pyrus sword. Oh, wait, why is chat not popping up? Oh, there it is! There it is. We just got a piano. Cool, chat is popping up on the screen that it's supposed to. That's what I wanted. Alright. Congratulations on the piano. That's the alerts. That's not what I meant. I need to get a chat thing. Get this real quick. There we go. There we go. Make sure everything's working the way it needs to. Yes! That is what I wanted. Yes! 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 Stream is working. But yeah, no, so Shonda knows. I eat, sleep, and breathe music. And I was like, how have I gone over an entire year without touching my keys? Are you serious? So I really had to fix that. I've been on this channel, you know, I restarted it. My victory over depression story, that's a big thing for me. But so I took to the ground running, and I was like, I'm just gonna do this, you know. Yeah, your first visible chance. And I was like, let me just take running, that we're gonna do this, we're gonna follow these dreams or whatever. And I got so absorbed in doing things that I love. I love all of this. All story creation, gaming, community, all of you guys. I love everything here. But because I was doing so much of that, I forgot my catharsis. Like, piano is my catharsis. And I was like, why am I so worn out? And lo and behold, that was probably one of the reasons. Okay, so it looks like we've got a decent amount of people here in chat. I'm excited for you too, Jess. I'm gonna give it to about 5:10. So everybody got your snack? If you got your drink or you got your snack, pop the emoji in the chat so I know what you got. I'm a tea person. I have chai. I have so I went to this Indian grocery store down the street. I love them forever. They have a little restaurant in there that serves samosa chole chat that is just delicious, and I love it forever. Do I know what it is? No. Do I point to it and go, yes, that's what I want? They're like, sure. We don't speak the same language. I just go in, point to stuff, and they give me stuff, and then I pay for it. But I love their food. But they have like a little grocery store, and they sell this chai ginger mint. Like a ginger mint chai thing, and this is my drink of choice today. It's my cozy of choice today. You've been trying to draw... Oh, Season 3 villain! Ooh, you're already on Season 3. Let's go. You got, is that ice cubes? What am I looking at? Water! You got water! Water in the chat. What else y'all drinking? Y'all got some coffee? Oh, if you got some wine, that's fine. But like I said, think outside the box. If you got some soup, I'm here for it, just as long as it's drinkable. Got Kool-Aid. All right. Rock on. Oh, this is so nice and warm. Oh my gosh, it's been so cold. It's been so cold. I don't do cold, and it's just gonna get colder. I hear it's gonna be like 40 degrees coming up soon, and I'm like, no. Like, the high is 40. Oh, Faye! Hey, you made it! Get that wine in the chat. No, I felt that. I felt that. Need more rosé, red, or white for you? Oh, kombucha. Oh, wow. Little aside about kombucha. I told my brother that you make no less than 5 faces every time you sip kombucha. And he's like, nah, that's not. So he went in and he took a sip of kombucha, made no less than 5 faces, and then looked at me and goes, I hate that I knew it was coming and I wanted to prove you wrong and I still couldn't do it. He's like, no. But yeah, I go through like at least 5 different faces, 3 of which are ooh, that was good, and 2 of which are, what the heck did I just drink? I have Oreos. All right, drink those Oreos. You got water too, Eric. Rock on. Energy drink. Energy drink. What's your energy drink? Do you do like a Red Bull or I think doesn't Gatorade have like energy Gatorade stuff? I don't usually do energy drinks. Yeah, everyone is here. I know, it's amazing. Ben Moscato, yes. Faye, I agree, 1000%. All right, yo, I think we're all settled. We got our Oreos, we got our water, we got our wine, we got our kombucha. Who already drank the kombucha? We got my chai. Oh, Celsius. I've been looking into Celsius. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not big on energy drinks, but I did hear Celsius was a decent choice. Juice. Ooh, kiwi strawberry juice. Ooh, nice. Kiwi strawberry used to be my absolute choice. I would get like Snapples. That would be my thing. But yeah, oh gosh, I'm so excited. So let's go. So today, let me go ahead and turn off Zippy Sound for just a minute. Because Zippy Sound isn't quite the mood for for the what we're doing. Pause that real quick. Okay, so what we are going into here, some of you guys, like I know Erica has seen some of, if not all of, the Life and Times of Glory. Erica, I'm not sure how much you saw, but I know you saw a good amount. Tectonic, I'm not sure if you saw any of them yet. I know DT has seen them. But there was a lot of feedback regards to the Life of Times of Glory that it's very different. So the way that this piece is done, um, I've combined nursery rhymes, fairy tales, Brothers Grimm, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Jack the Ripper even. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stories in here. Don't worry, nothing gets too graphic, I promise. But there's just a whole bunch of stories in it that turn into this amazing, just this amazing piece. I want to write a second book. I wrote this first one 12 years ago. I have no idea how I wrote it. I want to write a second one, and I literally have no clue how I wrote this one. Um, but I'd love to write more about like Rose Red and Snow White, because you'll see coming up that that they go through some junk by the end of this book. But you're gonna be following the stories of the titular character, which is Glory, which I am going ahead and revealing now. It says the Life and Times of Glory. A lot of people think that's literally just about, glory and honor. And there is that. But there's also the actual girl, Glory, who, if you see right here, she's the brown skin girl with the golden hair. She is one of the children of Midas. So you're going to see that, and you're going to see a lot about Jack. Those are going to be your 2 big main heavy hitter characters, but you're going to see a whole bunch of other people as well. You'll delve into their stories, see how they intertwine, and see why they made the decisions they make, and it's pretty darn cool what happens by the end. Oh my gosh, it's fire. Your daughter loves it. I'm very happy about that, and is watching too. Hi! How are you, sweetie? What's up? Thank you for watching. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. We will pause throughout if needed, or if I feel like, there might be something to explain. Because it is all done in verse, it is done kind of like a riddle. So there's going to be 2 different ways you can look at this, or 2 main ways you can look at this. Is face value, where you just see the name, the character, um, um, like what they say and what they do. And then there's the metaphor for what they represent. Um, and then there's like an even more abstract, deeper level of thought if you want to go into it. So we're going to do all of that discussion here. unwrap the riddle. That is the life and times of glory. The first chapter is going to present the overall story. So from chapters 2 through 7, you get, chapter 1 is chapters 2 through 7. So the end of chapter 7 is the end of chapter 1. You'll understand, but let's go ahead and go to this overview, and let's kick it off and see how you guys like it. Ask questions throughout if you need to ask questions. Comments are welcome, just to make me feel like people are paying attention and I'm not alone. And I'm going to go ahead and reveal this because it's not on here. There it is. Oh, I look beautiful in that picture. Anyway, here we go. And you can always find these on my playlist on YouTube as well. So the Storytime playlist. Did I make this? Yes, I did. I wrote all of it. So here we go.
The life and times of glory.
This is chapter 1.
I'll tell you a story about Jack and Glory. And now my story's begun. The Jack, the cat, the rat, and the Joker.
Pausing here just to make sure everybody can hear okay. Audio is good. If there's any audio issues, put it in the chat so I know. I'm going to hit play.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over candlestick. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over candlestick. Jack was nimble, Jack was quick, Jack jumped over the candlestick. The fire fled to far away, so Jack the hero saved the day. So unafraid was he to hold his stance to any flame, the village people called him Cole, and king he soon became. Young King Cole was a merry young soul, and a very merry soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. Arrival of the Joker. In his courts came a joker, and the joker played as a jest. He danced and he sang until it was plain that the king esteemed him best. The jester was paid much in silver, and all the more in gold. An idea had he that a king he could be, and the kingdom he could hold. O King Cole, you're a very merry soul, but alas, I make a plea. A rat has found my trove, and has stolen all my gold. Are the streets now to await me? Now King Cole was a very kind soul, so he would not let this be. His guards searched the town, looking up, looking down, but the rat they could not see. But King Cole was a generous soul, and restored to his jester every single piece of gold. So the jester bowed his knee. How I thank your majesty. And he left with a smile cold.
Pausing here for a moment. So, Chancellor, to your question, on my playlist in YouTube, you can find my Storytime playlist, and you can listen to all of these at your leisure at whatever pace. So to go through just what just happened as a recap, just because I know a lot just happened really quickly. I started with the Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, which is a nursery rhyme, obviously. But it is Jack himself is apparently quick on his feet, and he fought fire somehow. The fire fled too far away, so Jack the hero saved the day, and he became King Cole. So now he is king, and in his courts is this jester. A joker, the Joker. But the Joker is pretending to be his court jester, that he's here with the king in mind. But meanwhile, he's sitting there going, "Oh, King Cole, a rat came in and stole all my gold. I don't know what to do. Are the streets now to await me? Surely, King Cole." And so King Cole, being kind, was like, "Okay, I'm gonna restore to your gold." Meanwhile, he's trying to find this rat, and he can't find him. All right, so let's click play.
Winter without fire. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. Jack was nimble, Jack was quick, Jack jumped over the candlestick. The fire fled to far away, so Jack the hero saved the day, but winter brought a price to pay. The jester would dance, and the children would play, while a man dressed pied came by the way, and arrived at the castle with a hope in vain to prithee the king for fire. And in that moment the Joker sang, while ding-dong-dell the bells they rang. O king, The rat! 'Twas the rat again! Confound, cried the king, I tire. The piper's plea.
I like the Joker. He's
O
so funny.
King Cole, you do seem a good soul, so I dare to make my plea. For I am the piper, in my hand I hold just the thing to relieve thee. That, said the Joker, what a thing, King Cole! Do you not have a pipe that you play with your bowl? Ah, said the piper, this I play with my soul. I will bring that rat to thee. So a deal was struck for the capture between the piper and the king. To the piper, Cole promised fire, though intended not to honor such a thing. A rat was found in the village, known near and far as a thief, so Cole would have him finished. But that night, his lie was released. The jester came as the Joker, and to the piper this lie he revealed. The angered piper set free the rat, and the king's fate then was sealed.
So I'm going to pause here. What, how, I want to see how you guys are hearing the story so far. Like, do you understand? Like, this is to kind of engage, like, the thought process of what just happened. So fire went far away, right? So there's no fire, and then it's winter, and now it's cold. So the Pied Piper, who um, has people he cares for, um, wants there to be fire again because it's cold and we need to fix this, right? The king promises he'll bring fire, right? In exchange for finding the rat who is stealing all the gold from his jester. But the king lied. So when it is found out that the king has lied to the Pied Piper, that's when you get the story of the Pied Piper of Hamlin comes in.
Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over the candlestick. The candles blaze more than they ought, and as you jump, you will be caught. The piper's curse. King, you lied, O king. Fire you said you would bring. My people suffer in the cold while you are growing fat and old. Away, piper, away from me. You do not know, so cannot see. That angry fire will not come within the walls of my kingdom. A curse I place on you, O liar. Mourning mothers, blazing fire, and your love, the fairest cat, her life be taken by the rat. 1 year passed, then passed some more, since the piper, young and pied, fled himself to far away and cursed the king because he lied. The king, he met a maiden fair, with deep sea eyes and golden hair, enchanting as her smile be. King Cole got lost within that sea, and as the curse he soon forgot, more of his purse the Joker caught.
Joker's doing too much, in my opinion.
The piper's wrath. Now King Cole was a very merry soul, and a very merry soul was he.
Yes.
He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. Ding dong dell. Can you hear the bell? The Pied Piper comes from a deep, dark well. The children play till they hear his call. They drop their chalk and forsake their ball. The mother mourns her child gone, for every child heard his song.
You guys know the Piper of Hamlin.
Come, little children, I'll take thee away into a land of enchantments. Come, little children, away, far away. I know a garden of magic.
That's from Hocus Pocus.
Come with me to a land of dreams with jub-jub birds and tum-tum trees.
That's from Alice in
The
Wonderland.
Jabberwock is slain each day by the hero of Far Away. The greatest man of Far Away will scorch the land with a blaze today. Aftermath. As prophesied, the mothers mourned. As blazes grew, the king was scorned. The Joker used his coin, and then he bought cool water for the land. The king was taken to a hold, his kingdom bought by Joker's gold. It was the most amazing thing. King became Jack, and Joker king. Maiden and the teller. Grieved fair maiden ran away, a promise on her lips that day, to find the man who sent the blaze for her love's kingdom to raise. Hope against all hope did she, that her Jack might soon be free. She found herself a teller's shed, in want to get her fortune read, but the Joker ran ahead. He donned a wig, wore gold and red, paid off the witch and took her stead, and poised himself inside that shed.
Again, Joker doing too much.
Oh, teller, please, I ask of thee, would you divine a man for me? I hear that he is far away, and so I come to you today. Hush, dear child, hear me true. That man I can divine for you. But there will be a price to pay, right? Then will my necklace do? The fortune. I'll tell you a story about Jack and Glory, and now my story's begun. I'll tell you another, the rat and his brother, and now my story is done. Not fair, said the maiden, in riddles you speak, and I still do not know the man that I seek. Then plain I shall speak. Will you understand that? The one you are chasing, my dear, is the rat. Ah, I know of the rat. Indeed, he fled to far away, the maiden said, the night he was to lose his head. Another fortune. Maiden, a story I will regale, about a rat who lost his tail. Three blind mice, see how they run? They all chased after the farmer's wife, who cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight in your life?
Joker's a bud.
I thought you would tell me about a rat. That I shall I that? He is closer than you think. Just leave here, look left, and blink. Something odd will catch your eye. Follow it, and you'll know why.
Alright, I'm gonna pause here for just a moment. Chance is okay. Come back. All the chapters from 2 through 7 can be watched in any order, and they explain chapter 1. So, like Tech said, yes, this is an overarching story here that you see in chapter 1. Um, and then you're gonna see it in close up from 2 through 7. And you can always come back to the stream as well. So it's totally all right. So far, anybody just completely lost? I just want to know. Like, I want to make sure, like we're almost at the end of chapter 1. Um, Following okay? Questions? Lost something? I love the Joker. So the Joker has been, the Joker is able to dress up as these various different characters. So he's the jester for the king, and then he dresses up as the teller, as the fortune teller. He's just doing a lot. But was taking, he was using the king's kindness to restore the gold that he supposedly lost. And then now he's got this whole treasure trove of gold, and he buys the kingdom from the king and becomes the hero, because the king would bring fire. So now, or well, because the Piper's curse on the king brought a fiery rampage, um, and then, um, like the Joker set himself up as king by bringing cool water to the land, and everything was glorious for him. Um, but are there anybody lost or have questions or anything like that? Just want to make sure, because I'm not trying to like let you guys be lost. I also don't know how this story hits other people. Everybody's a little bit different. And if I'm pausing too much, that's fine. We can, for the next chapter, we can just watch all the way through, and then we'll talk about it at the end. I just want to make sure that this is my first time doing these, so I'm not sure. I'm feeling you guys out. I'm not sure like how far everybody is is getting what's going on. But I love Joker. I think he's funny. He's like, I'll tell you. Oh, his prophecies are very important. I'm a little confused. Is a Piper the same entity as the Joker? No. Okay, so um, the Piper came in, and um, and he was a third player, so he came in to try and prithee the king for fire, to ask if the king would bring fire into the land. And the Joker scoffed at him, in the courts, when he said, "Oh, I have a pipe that can help you," and the Joker was like, "What a thing, King Cole! Do you not have a pipe that you play with your bowl?" Um, and so instead, the Piper is now set up to be like, "This I play with my soul. I will find the rat who's stealing this Joker's gold, and in exchange, you will bring fire into the land." Um, but good thinking though, Steph, because you're gonna see some more connections between the Joker and the Piper coming up. So that's something to keep in mind. Joker is a self-made man. Yeah. Also seems he's more of a mastermind than a joke. He is very, very wily, um, very manipulative, highly manipulative. Um, and he took advantage of King Cole's kindness. Something about this piece, though, you will see that very few are all evil or all good or whatever. Um, you see Jack, who becomes king, who is kind and restores to the Joker, but he also refuses to bring fire when there are people who are cold and and like we winter is here, you know. So you see, like, not everybody makes all the best decisions all the time. That's also part of this story, is what decisions you make, why you made them, and you're gonna see why he made that decision in chapter 4, so we'll get to that, but that's something to keep in mind as well. Lost track of time, gotta go. Oh yeah, I'm so sorry, Tech. Yo, come back and see the stream when you're done, and I would love to, if I finish my stream before you, I'll crop over, absolutely. Is fire personified? Yes. So fire is an interesting thing. I was hoping someone would bring that up. So, so you can look at fire point blank. Like I said, you can just look at it as just a thing that can come and scorch the land, as just fire. Um, but you can also look at it as its metaphor, um, for what it might represent. And at the moment, I don't want to reveal that to you. I kind of want you guys to think a little bit. You're going to start seeing a little bit more about fire, what it, they, hmm, is, are. You're going to understand that a little bit more. I want you guys to be able to think about that. So it's going to be part of the little critical thinking exercise we'll be doing. But keep that in mind. That's a good question. But yes, it is. Fire is definitely personified. Pretty much everything in here is personified, in some way, which is interesting. There's a lot of things that have like their own will, that's exerting a force on the story, including gold and silver, which you will see that as well. So I just want to go ahead and make that statement. All right. And nice side note, I love the rhymes and the way it flows. Thank you. It's a lot of fun. I had way too much fun recording this. Also, I took way too many takes recording this. This is 10 minutes. I just spent no less than 3.5 hours recording this, the first chapter, because it was I don't read well aloud, so I have to, or like sight read. I don't sight read well. It's one of my, just, it's a thing I have to just deal with all my life. Um, so I have to memorize and do it, and then I also do it as I'm acting. So I'm acting it out as I go, because I like being part of the characters. I don't want it to just be flat. So if I wasn't happy with the take, I would do it again. So this thing took a long time to record, but I'm happy. I'm happy with how it turned out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. We're gonna finish chapter 1 because we're almost there. Here we go.
The maiden begins her journey. So the maiden paid her helper, whom she'd believed was the witch. Joker thought himself quite clever, knowing he had made the switch. He left the necklace to the teller to do with it as she pleased. He, with plenty gold and silver, now could rest his mind at ease.
That necklace is
In a
important.
day or two, thought he, perhaps he'd set the poor Jack free.
That's the necklace from the blonde girl with
The
blue eyes.
faraway lands, 'twas brillig, and the slithy toes did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome rats outgrabe.
The poem is Jabberwock.
Beware the jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jub-jub bird, and shun the frumious bandersnatch. And as an uffish thought he stood, the jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. The maiden in blue,
I love the
and the
Jabberwock.
rabbit in white.
One of my favorite
Little
poems.
white rabbit, hippity hop. Little blue pony, clippity clop. Out into the streets went she, an odd thing to be seeking. When left she looked, white fur she saw, a funny rabbit speaking. "Oh, I am late, how late I am! The queen will turn me into jam!" His watch secured on waistcoat band, he hopped off through the darkened land.
Remember that, bunny.
"Little bunny, oh, so funny, wherefore dost thou hop away from me? Thou art the very one I seek, and I shall chase thee, even though you flee." The rabbit hopped into the wood, the maiden soon to follow. Alas, the rabbit disappeared into a little hollow. The maiden squeezed herself on through, but what a foolish thing to do. A hole was there she could not see, and tumbled down head first did she. Luckily she was not hurt, although her words a little curt. The maiden has gone far away. Ding dong dell, someone's in the well. Who has fallen in? A silly little simpkin. Someone get me out! Call for Timmy Stout. The maiden, being more petite than most, held easy hope that any man could pull her up as she held to that rope. But it came quite a shock to her when she saw not a man, but Timmy Stout, a little boy, held the rope in his hand.
Remember Timmy Stout?
How odd, thought she, though odder yet is that I am not sopping wet, and how I came out of a well when down some random hole I fell. But little Timmy disappeared, so much to her surprise, and as she looked around, the wood was tulgey to her eyes. She felt a little chill and thought how brillig was the day. But since the rabbit still she sought, she must be on her way. The maiden and the hero. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wave. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome rats outgrabe. She held her arms around herself long time, the manxome rat she sought. Then spotted she a tom-tom tree, and a man, eyes closed, in thought. "Excuse me, sir, for I am lost, directions I implore." But softly on the tree he leaned, and all he did was snore. But as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock, with eyes of flame, came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. The maiden's eyes went wide with fear. She could not fight. What could she do? Oh, how she longed for Jack! But suddenly the man awoke and ran his vorpal sword right through. He left it dead, and with its head he came galumphing back. "See, I have slain the Jabberwock, so do not fear, you will be fine." Then realized he just who was she, and added, "So your life is mine." The cat.
I'm going to make this connection here because it's usually overlooked the first time you read it. But the piper gave a curse, and your love, the fairest cat, her life be taken by the rat. Remember in the beginning of the story of this chapter here, it seems like there was no rat, right? The Joker was sitting there going, "Oh, I've lost my gold, blah," but he didn't, because he obviously bought the whole kingdom. So there was no rat, and yet somehow the piper comes in, plays a little flute, finds a rat. The rat is personified as a man, obviously, so you're going to see that as well. You're going to see a lot of personifications as people being called things. We'll get into that, but yeah. So apparently there was a thief somewhere, right? So be thinking about that. But the piper's curse, your love, the fairest cat, her life be taken by the rat. She meets the rat, and the rat says, "I know who you are. Your life is mine. It was written in stone. Pied Piper said so."
Is trapped. She did not know what he implied. Said she, "Indeed, I almost died, and I will thank you one day true, but first is something I must do." She wished to ask him if he knew a rat or rabbit passing through, but he stopped her mid of speech. She would not make her beseech. "I, dear maiden, tip my hat, for you see I am the rat. But you, dear maiden, are the cat, and I will have none of that." Jack mourns. "Little kitty, oh so pretty, wherefore hast thou gone away from me, with boots of white and fur of golden yellow and eyes deeper than the sea?" Poor old Jack, he's never coming back. He traveled around the world just to find his kitty cat. The cat he didn't find, but the bell she left behind. He stayed away, cried many a day, and now has lost his mind.
All right. That is the end of chapter 1. So let's go over some thoughts and reflections. Where are your minds at with this so far? And let me get rid of this picture of myself because I hate the way I look in all of chapter 2. I'm going to have to deal with that. Going forward, chapter 2 is great. I love it. But oh my gosh, I hate how I looked in that. I had the camera was blown out and I didn't realize it. No, whatever. I can talk about my flaws later. It's fine. But thoughts regarding chapter 1 before we move on to chapter 2. So this was the overarching story. What are some things you remember? Some things you might still be thinking about? Some things you maybe thought were cool? Some things you were like, who, what did who, huh? Or anything you might want me to expound on before we go into chapter 2. Chapter 2 is going to show, is going to zoom in, and you're going to see the beginning of Jack's story. So you're going to see how he was as a little kid. Just a heads up. So we'll get into that. But if you have any reflections or something on the first chapter, what do you think? I'm really curious. I keep touching my mic. I keep touching my mic with this. I keep meaning to move that. Piper and Joker. Might those two intelligent types do battle? Ooh, I want to get into some stuff that I want to say. You're gonna find out. You might actually find out in this next chapter. Yeah, you'll find out a little bit more to that. The answer to that question. It's gonna be interesting though. Ooh, but there is definitely a connection. You're right to see that. It's definitely a connection. Any other thoughts before we move on? I'm just gonna keep it open for just a couple minutes. Oh, so there's a little bit of a lag between YouTube and here. On Twitch, I can see your comments precisely, um, but on YouTube, there's going to be like about a half-minute lag. So your comment and my reaction to the comment is just going to be delayed. I like the connection with the rat. I'm glad there was more info on him. Yeah. Oh, okay. Out of this story, I have two main characters that I love the most, and they are right there in on the front. You've got Jack and Glory holding hands. They're adorable. I love them pieces. I love both of them so much. But Jill, or I guess I named her the cat. You'll find out that she's Jill. It's not like I really revealed anything. But the blonde woman with the blue eyes, um, she and the rat um, or this particular rat that you guys know, because you'll find out. But she and the thief are probably my, and one more, but I can't name that one yet because we haven't gotten to them, but we'll get to them coming up. But those are like all together on second place for me. There's so much depth to them that can easily get overlooked if you're not paying attention to it because they don't stay front and center in the story much, like ever. They interact and stuff, but look at them. Um, Especially if whenever we get to chapter 5, really take a look at the blonde girl because she's always gonna seem like a background character, but there's so much depth to her. Oh, I love it. I love it when stories do that. I didn't mean to do that. It just happened, but I love stuff like that. Um, there's Glory and the cat. Yes, Glory is different. The cat is different. They're going to be two different people, but yes, they are both females. That is correct. All right. I'm going to start chapter 2. We're going to take a look. I'm really excited about this one. Because I hate how I look, but I love the story so much, I'm gonna try to stop looking at all my flaws, and y'all can enjoy this story. So the second chapter is a story about Jack and Glory, and I love Glory so much. All right, let's go.
The Life and Times of Glory, Chapter 2. A story about Jack and Glory. I'll tell you a story about Jack and Glory, and now their story's begun. Once were 3 little mice who ran around the town and through. The town, by name of Hamelin, would tell these mice to shoo. Yet the mice were a minor nuisance, stealing only 1 or 2 cents from rich pockets now and then, and that was all they do. Once a farmer and his wife, a rooster and his hen, met a woman whom her life spent in a hollow den. This strange woman in that hole within that hill she owned a bowl. Since the couple caused no strife, she gave that bowl to them. A lion and a unicorn were brothers of a girl, and every smile she put on had meant to them the world. Every day they would compete to see which brother she would greet, finding treasures she could own, gold, silver, gem, and pearl.
Pausing here only because I know that all of that went fast. I'm gonna let you guys rewatch that on your own time because it's one of those setup riddles. It's not meant to be a riddle, it's meant to just set up and let you know who you're looking at. But you'll be looking at the 3 mice, you'll be looking at the farmer and his wife, or the rooster and his hen, and you'll be following um, what's happening with the brothers and their their young sister. That's basically what it's saying. There's more really deep lore in here that's really epic, but there's no way I can reveal that to you this soon. So just keep it in mind. Come back to it later. Let's go.
A young boy by the name Jack Jelf could not spell the word pie. His mother put him on a shelf, and there he'd sit and cry. And should it be a sunny day that he want to go out and play, it often would be just himself while others passed him by. The bid for glory. Glory, glory, what a name! It fits you perfectly, for every man in all the land would fight for you with glee. At each and every morning come, your radiance outshines the sun. Ask and you'll find anyone would love you gratefully.
Okay, Glory.
Jack, dear Jack, oh, what a shame. Come watch this awkward boy. To think he could win Glory's hand by some courageous ploy. Men have come from all around to gather to this humble town, hoping to someday be bound by lovely Lady Coy.
I love you, Jack.
But odd as every oddness be, Glory's eyes did follow Jack. Laughing, they go over there. Holding hands, come over back. The bowl. There is a bowl. The toy maker made it, by magic and comic delight. In went a little boy, out came a giant. He gave many children a fright. Whatever goes in will surely come out, and whatever comes out will grow. The longer you stay, the larger you'll be. That boy stayed 5 years in a row.
Yes, that's a riddle. I will absolutely explain that later. Keep it in mind.
The giant. A large boy lives up in the sky, awaiting his mother up there so high. Everyone else was scared away, so he makes pottery each day. And he will sit in Skyfish Glen with a pie baked just for him. And he will feed and he will hold his pet goose with her eggs of gold. He will forget his silver bell with which his mother wished him well, and in this way wait her return. Anyone else this boy will spurn. The mice and Jack.
So that was the boy who went and
3 mice, acquaintances of Jack, followed him for his strength, and though academics he lacked, his kindness went good length. As a young man, kind Jack could carry 2 full-grown men up a hill. He would not sweat, he would not tarry, doing much work with good will. One day, as the mice were out, a butcher passed them by. With vegetables he went his route and said, "Well, my, oh my." "Well, my," he said. "Well, oh my soul." The mice ducked quickly round a bend. To think they own a magic bowl, that rooster and that hen. And bless me if it isn't true that those 3 beans inside would lead one to the potter's goose, whose gold eggs are his pride.
I'm just gonna say the butcher is an a-hole. I'm just gonna say. It's fine. Let's continue.
The mice conspired with each other, Hunter, Joker, Pan. "Let's get that gold," said Hunter. "We will live like merry men." Said Joker, "We will need more strength." Said Pan, "Then let's get Jack." For little Pan liked that young man, though Joker laughed, "That hack." Jack trusts the mice. All work and no...
Do you recognize who the 3 mice are? You've got Hunter, Joker, and Pan. We met all of them in chapter 1. All right, all work and no
Play makes Jack a dull boy. All play and no work makes Jack a mere toy. If all he does is work and play, our Jack will surely be a very sadly boy for you and silly toy for me. Where be Jack? He's in the field again. 3 mice be looking for him, with beans stolen from the hen. Where be hen? Unconscious on the floor. A frying pan had met her head when she answered the door. Lured in by tales of gold, kind Jack followed the mice. Out into a field they went to plant their magic beans. Keep the golden goose for glory, Jack, was their advice. We only need a dozen eggs to live as fat as kings. But what great lies from these little things, and what great things from these little lies. If you ought to be a king, do not think the mouse is wise.
Good question. I have seen them as blood brothers. You've got, and by I have seen them as, there are multiple ways to interpret a story if you would like, and I invite you to interpret the story however you wish, especially this story. But the way I wrote it and the way that I saw them is that they were truly 3 brothers who've been living on the streets for a long time, dealt a relatively not the best hand. You've got Hunter is the oldest, Joker is the middle, and Pan is the youngest. And are you guys able to recognize who they are in chapter 1? Do you know who they are? Or can you pick them out? I'm curious. But I love the 3 mice. They're fun. Also, just to make sure that we're following along with what just happened, the mice were just, wandering, doing their thing, trying to get money, trying to get their food. And the butcher passes by with vegetables. What's a butcher doing with vegetables? But that's fine. Y'all can think about that later. He's a butt. You can just know that I just think the butcher is a butt. Anyway, more on him later. But he just happens to say loud enough for these 3 young mice to hear, "Oh, the rooster and his hen have a bowl with magic beans that can get up to the potter's goose with the gold eggs." He just says it while he passes. He's a butt. Anyway, y'all can think on him more. If you guys are able to figure out who they are, type it in the chat. I'm gonna hit play.
Climbing. And have you ever climbed a beanstalk? Have you, my dear friend? Let me tell you, if I may. Come now, your ear to lend. Are you prepared for me to say this secret you must guard? It's hard. Fair weather. All work and no play makes Jack a little dull. Yet one cannot but to admit his strength is like a bull. For when the mice are tired, they just cling and let him pull.
What nice people.
You do all the work, my friend, and I'll keep all the find. Because you're very nice, my friend, so I know you won't mind. Arrival. Up in the clouds, a monstrous potter keeps his giant sword for slaughter. Never shall a person pass to go beyond the sky. 80 years a many, there alone a friend not any. He shall watch the skyfish splash and play up there so high. It's a fairly good arrangement for a potter with derangement, who is thankfully asleep when into the house they creep. Their minds began to wander, their hearts began to pound. Each moment's breath felt longer. May he stay asleep so sound. As imagination flew, scared eyes knew not what to do. Perhaps the pie upon the sill was made out of his latest kill. And if that sword came crashing down, surely it would split the town. Yet as they scanned around, they found their dreams might just come true. I spy with my little eye. The golden goose is sitting by. Hurry, urged Joker. Come quickly, said Hunter. Softly, hissed Pan as they moved. Jack came along and followed the brothers until they arrived at the goose. That goose is quite a size, said Jack. Said Pan, then help us bring it back. But as Jack reached the goose of gold, a shimmer did distract him. Away there by the fireplace, a silver bell attract him. Why stop you for a silver bell when have you all this gold? Which do you think would make fair maiden happiest to hold? Unless it to be sold?
All right, so we're going to pause here. The whole mission for Jack is that he has fallen in love with Glory. So Glory said, or the brothers of Glory, the lion and the unicorn who were fighting for a crown, who love to give their gifts to their little sister, said, you, Jack, are not good enough to be with our sister. Like, at all, ever. First of all, you're lowborn. You ain't got money. You ain't got prestige, right? So when the three mice hear about there being gold in the sky, protected by the monstrous Potter, the giant in Jack and the Beanstalk, they're like, well, we can't climb this thing like by ourselves. So they're like, let's get Jack. He does everything for everybody. He's so kind. He will give to everybody. We could just cling on his back and he can pull us up this beanstalk. Yeah, that'll be fine, right? So Jack does, because Jack is like, we could split the gold. I will get some gold. You will get some gold. I'll bring it back to Glory. We'll have a happy day, right? Um, so that's like the whole reason they're up here, right? So then Jack somehow stops and looks and sees a silver bell over the fireplace. And for whatever reason, that bell was enough to shift his entire attention to be like, I need that. And why would you get that is the question here. Why would you go and risk waking up the giant, risk not getting the goose, risk taking more time to go over to this bell to grab it? This silver bell is really important. There's a lot of things attached to the concepts of gold and silver throughout the story, so just kind of keep attention to that as well. And anytime it says ding dong dell, can you hear the bell, there's something going on. There's usually like a shift in the air that's happening, like a big shift. So those are just things to kind of keep in mind while the story is continuing. All right, so now we are here up in the sky, where the young boy who went into the bowl for 5 years came out as a giant. So that young boy has been up in the sky for 40 years. And he is, or for many years, yeah. And he is now older. He has been alone, just him and the skyfish, which I'll just go ahead and reveal are like mermaids, basically, who were lifted up in the sky as well. And that was his life, and he was just waiting for his mother to come back to him, but she never has. And that's kind of the giant story. So now let's go back to Jack and the mice. And if you guys have any questions throughout, please, by all means, go ahead and post them. Not a problem.
The fumble. As Jack ran with the goose in hand to get the silver bell, the fireplace was much too hot for the bird to be near. Jack pressed on. It all went wrong. The goose, it fussed and fell. "Forget that hack," said Joker. "I've the goose. Let's out of here." But Jack was nimble. Jack was quick, and he secured the bell, then used his other hand to scoop a great serving of coals. No second thoughts, he threw the coals. The mice, they yelped and fell, for those 3 mice would leave him there and take off with his gold. Alas, the coal was much too hot. As it was thrown, the mice were caught. The pledged revenge.
Remember, Jack's
The mice screamed out in pain, for it had got into their eyes. "I'll kill you," promised Joker. "Better run now while you can." As Jack neared the goose, that he might take off with his prize, Hunter took a swing at him for burning little Pan. But while they fought, the monstrous Potter rose out from his bed. "Who are these little rodents in my house?" the giant said. Jack said, "Well, I am not a mouse." He took the goose and ran. Consequences.
I love that.
The mice were blind and could not see. They tried to hide, they tried to flee. The Potter's shouts made thunder gasp, and soon each mouse was in his grasp. "Where be my goose?" roared the giant, "lest I squeeze out your life." "It's with Jack, who's climbing down the beanstalk," squeaked the mice. Down the beanstalk, down it fast, run, Jack, run. To the shed to get an axe, quick, Jack, quick. Back again and hack again, Jack has won! Down fell the monstrous potter with a topple, teeter-totter, and a crash. The little mice were still in hand, all hazy, daisy, dizzy from the clash.
Thank you, Eddie, for
Jack
that edit.
has won. Hip hooray! A frabjous day! A golden goose for glory! Hurry, Jack, to bring it back. Let's have a wedding story. Where be Glory? She's on the highest hill. The men compete each year for her, they're fighting for her still. Where be her brothers? Competing with the rest. No man shall claim their sister till the brothers they can best. But look, here's Jack. Will he pass the test?
Okay. I actually can't see who's in chat, so I have no ability to tell, who's here or not. But will Jack pass the test? Will having a goose that lays golden eggs be enough to let him continue to be with Glory, grow up together, and have a wonderful family together? You already heard chapter 1. In chapter 1, he was a king. He became King Coles, and we didn't even see Glory in it. So wonder why. But would this goose be enough? This particular part gets rather interesting. And feel free to hate characters I love.
Look at Jack, running down the way. With the golden goose for glory, surely this will be the day. I declare, surely marriage, this I say. Surely marriage, this I say. How incredible life can be, baffling us with mystery. And now their story is done. Lovely Glory did accept the golden goose from Jack. With a smile, she declared, "Indeed, this is a gift. But you know that I am Glory. One thing you still lack. If you are to claim my hand, your prestige you must lift. For who in Hamlin knows you as any more than a hack?"
Yeah, ouch.
Glory's reflection. This is Glory's mirror, mounted o'er the table here. This is Glory's hair, curling, waving, golden, fair. These are Glory's lips, red as cherries and rose tips. These are Glory's eyes, brown like earth where beauty lies. This is Glory's tear. It's not reflected in the mirror. Glory's brothers see to it. Glory with much and Jack with none, yet what he had he gave her. So Jack went out to gain prestige that he might one day have her. Meanwhile, Glory's brothers, they could not believe their eyes. Surely 'tweren't that oddly Jack who brought back such a prize. Quickly, find a better prize to set before our sister's eyes. Family. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for a crown. The lion beat the unicorn all around the town. Some threw them white bread, some threw them brown, but all helped to pack them up and send them out of town. The brothers had to leave that day. Bags packed, they left for far away. But Glory won't be cast aside, for she is the people's pride. She will stay with them a year, then at last escape from here, to go and find her brothers dear, and live then by their side. The life and times of Glory.
Okay, so my question to you, chat. Why do you think Glory denied Jack whom she's liked? Also, are you following? What are you confused on? What questions do you have? Where did you get lost? This helps me as a writer, just lets me know. But if you have, have you guys figured out who Hunter, Joker, and Pan are from the first chapter? Obviously Joker is Joker. That's in the name. But have you figured out who Hunter and Pan are? In the first, because you saw them in the first chapter. They are here, the three blind mice, the three mice. there's a lot going on in this chapter, so um, let me know what questions you guys have. But Glory is the one that intrigues me most, or is Hunter the Rat? Yes. The thief, the hunter, the thief rat. Yes, yes. Hunter is absolutely the rat. Good job. Which is kind of interesting. So you see like the start of the relationship between Jack and these three brothers. So you see that, Joker already has it out for Jack. So when Jack becomes King Cole, Joker's already like, I'll kill you. Pan is Piper. Good job. Good job. So you've got Piper Pan, you've got Hunter Thief, and you have Joker. Um, so kind of thinking about how chapter one went down, you can start kind of connecting some of those dots, like what happened exactly um, in the King's courts, um, when you've got Joker up there acting like the court jester and the King's favored one. uh, oh, King, the rat and gold. But now you see that these three are brothers, right? So the whole thing of suddenly there's a rat. What? I found one. There's a rat I just conveniently found. Is one of these brothers like, you know, that's raising a lot of flags, right? um, was the blind mice a fatal injury? You're gonna find out about the blind mice in chapter 3, so I'm happy to click play on that here in just a bit. Um, but yeah, so the mice have been in the Potter's hand. Um, oh my gosh, I feel for the giant. I really do. That poor guy. So like I don't know if you noticed, but this is just this little kid who most likely is autistic, who hid away in this little bowl, because he couldn't handle being around people. And then when he finally got out, he still couldn't be around people because everybody was scared of him. He was a giant by that point. Because whatever goes in will surely come out, and whatever comes out will grow. That boy stayed 5 years in a row. So that little boy became a giant, and he couldn't live among people, so he had to go up to the sky. And like his mother kind of put him there, like helped him, be up there and be taken care of, and promised to return. She's not returned. What happened to his mom? His mother left a silver bell to him, with which his mother wished him well, it says. Um, and it says in the story, he will forget the silver bell with which his mother wished him well, and in this way wait her return. Everyone else this boy will spurn, kind of thing. He's been up there for so long. It's been 40 years. Um, he's been isolated from everybody else. He took to pottery, made pie. He's very creative. Just minding his own, right? And then the butcher goes by some three mice one day and says, "Oh my goodness, the rooster and hen have a bowl with magic beans in it." And then the mice go and hit the wife over the head with a frying pan to knock her out and get the beans, and then they plan it. Get a beanstalk and get Jack to climb up the beanstalk with them to get them up there, because they won't climb by themselves because they're fair weather friends. And Jack does, because he's kind-hearted and believes them and trusts the mice. And then they go enter trespass this giant's home, who he was just chilling. He was chilling. All right, he was so chill. He wasn't hurting nobody. They go up into his home, steal his dang goose and a bell, and take off. And then Jack runs to the shed, hacks down the beanstalk, the giant falls, and he is dead. And that is the end of that poor guy's life. Yep. That is how that happened. You're going to see a lot of that throughout the story. Not just like oh, suddenly you're dead. That's not the thing. You're just gonna see um a lot of, and suddenly this is now the thing. You're gonna see that because that's kind of how life hits. It's like, and suddenly now this is the thing now. I guess we're going this way. You're gonna see that in this story. Um, but it's a pretty, yeah, Steph. No, it's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. Um, I don't do this intentionally. That's something I want you guys to know. As a writer, I don't do any of this intentionally. I just watch the characters live their lives and see what they do, and then I write it down. The giant is probably the most tragic character in this story to me. One of them. Not you know what? Actually, debatably, you can debate that. There's one who I think is more tragic, but it's debatable because the poor giant didn't even have a say, really. Whereas the other person kind of did, but also didn't. You'll get to that in. You'll get to that. But it's definitely it's up there. And what's interesting about the giant, and you'll see this about multiple characters in the story, is their background characters. So if you're not paying attention, if you're not with me leading you through it or whatever, if you're not looking at the story objectively and just like actually thinking about it, you're gonna miss it. You're not gonna realize how big an event this thing was. Neither did Jack. Neither did the mice. They didn't know. All they saw was a monster. They didn't see a person. They didn't know. They didn't even know to feel remorse. It's not like they knew they did anything particularly wrong. They just, did, but it didn't hit them hard like it hits us, who got to know a little bit about who he was and his backstory. They didn't know any of that. So they don't even have that to add to guilt to themselves on. They just felt like they did the thing that they needed to do to achieve the goal. And if you look at the story of Jack and the Beanstalk, it's like that. I've always wondered about that in Jack and the Beanstalk, about how, Jack goes up and steals the golden goose, gets away with it, and he's the hero of the story because he beat a giant. But like, no, what the giant ever do to you? He was just chilling up there, like he wasn't doing nothing. Like, why do we celebrate this guy, right? Um, I love Jack, by the way. I know I'm like messing on him right now. I adore Jack. Um, but you're gonna see that there's a whole bunch of different ways to look at a story and look at a person and look at a life. And if you look at it from the giant's perspective, Jack was one of the villains, you know. Jack and the mice were probably the biggest villains of his life. But if you look at it from another perspective of things that happened later on, Jack was heroic. If you look at it from the way Jack treated the mice, he was overly kind and overly compassionate. If you look at these people from different angles, you see different sides of them. E- Everybody is a conglomeration of of facets of themselves, and that's part of the point of this work, of this piece, is to see that, kind of bring to light different perspectives and different ways to see what's going on in a story. So let's go ahead and click on chapter 3, because this is where you're going to see a little bit more about the rat and his brother. And if you didn't notice it, I am going to go ahead and point it out. So in the first chapter, you had the Joker gave these two prophecies. I'll tell I'll tell you a story about Jack and Glory, and now my story's begun. I'll tell you another, the rat and his brother, and now my story is done. And those were his that was his thing. Um, in the chapter 2, you had a story about Jack and Glory, and you had them together holding hands, la la la, and then it ended with, and now their story is done because they parted ways. Glory rejected Jack. Why? I want you guys to think about that because I adore Glory, so I understand her very, very, very well. But she's gonna tick off a lot of people. She's also gonna be somebody a lot of people can connect to. She's a really interesting character. You're gonna see so much more from her coming up. But for now, the story's gonna more or less follow Jack predominantly, until it ends. His story ends at chapter 8, and it takes off more toward Glory's side from chapter 9 to the end. So you're gonna see that as well. But they're two really big characters about what's going on. So let's go and take a look at chapter 3.
Chapter 3. Another. The Rat and His Brother. I'll tell you another. The Rat and His Brother. Whatever happened to those mice held fast in Giant's hand? When Giant fell, they did as well, quite near the farmer's land. But being blind from cinders and with no sense of direction, they had to go by ear and feel and stumble on correction. It wasn't long before the farmer's wife came to the door, with in her hand a carving knife meant to prepare some meat she had gotten from the butcher not too long before. And when the mice had heard the door, they scurried quick to greet. For when one stumbles blind, he tends to quickly find his own defeat.
Just gonna put a spin of perspective on this. The mice were the ones who hit her over the head with a darn frying pan. But they're blind, so they don't realize that that's who they're running to for help. She sees them and goes, "Y'all the people who hit me over the head with a frying pan!" And thus this ensues. I have to go really soon. I'm glad I could make it. Oh, I'm really glad you could be here as well. Thank you so much. And yes, I want to make it to chapter 4 today. If I can make it to chapter 6, I will, but it just depends on, participation and whether we're burnt out or not. We might just do the first 4 chapters, and that's totally fine. And I'm glad you're able to come by, and feel free to watch any of these at your leisure on the playlist, or you can come back to this stream as well, and I'll be, helping guide through it as well, because it's good to have a guide with it.
The Hen's Revenge. The hen screamed when she saw them. "Thief! A thief! My husband, come!" The mice thought they could placate, but the hen knew who they were. So when they gathered close, she grabbed their tails to suspend them, then cut their little tails right off, intent next on their fur. They should really thank the timing of that old rooster. The rooster crows. "Shiver, shiver, quiver, quiver, oh you little mouse, for you realize that you are upon the farmer's house." And as the farmer came around and saw the little mice, his anger burned. He raised his hand and slapped each rodent twice. But as he noticed these 3 little mice without their tails, blind and hurt and scared and squeaking out their little wails, he turned his head to see his wife, who offered slight a sigh. She'd not known that the 3 were blind. It made her want to cry. The rooster glared a fatherly glare and flicked each on the forehead. "Why be it ye stole our beans? What be it ye intended?" "We're sorry," said Hunter. "We were hungry," lied Joker. "We heard of treasure," said Pan. The rooster sighed. "That bull's their pride, and their beans had a plan. But to be young again." He eyed them very crossly. "Look at ye, so pale and thin. A mouse without a tail be like a cock without a hen. You're not like any mice I've seen, and ne'er shall ye be men." Direction. And for a while longer they were lectured and admonished, but as the farmer spoke, his wife went back inside, and when she returned, what she brought found them all astonished, for she carried what the farmer claimed to be their pride. A bowl as white as ivory.
Here's the bowl.
"'Twas meant for our children, but we won't see that day. Since you need cross the water, this might help you on your way." Said farmer, "Travel carefully." "Why across the water?" Hunter asked. "And we can keep—" "Never you mind about the bowl," said farmer. "Find Bo Peep. If your tails be reattached, that's the maiden ye must snatch. But I hear she's been far away still looking for a sheep." Sailing. 3 sailors went to sea, to see what they could see. But all that they could see, was the bottom of the deep blue sea. "O ladies of the waters, O ocean's lovely daughters, will you listen, for I make a plea? I must go far away now, but I don't know the way how. Would you take my vessel carefully? Great be the beloved of the sea."
The mermaids played
Fortune on their side, they traveled with their pride, there inside the farmer's precious bowl. "O brothers, grasp your tails, and with each other sail, and don't forget the value that you hold."
Thank you, Dick.
To faraway shores. Embark on faraway shores. Go out ahead and explore. But as a guest, it might be best if sense you don't ignore.
Boom.
3 young brothers stumbled dark, for they'd been used to sight. 2 years passed since they embarked to tell Bo Peep their plight. But by this time, they'd learned to live. The eldest hunts for food, and out of pity one might give the jokester something good. The youngest likes to play his pipe, and earns himself a penny. And while they hate, they do not gripe, though execrations many. Gold's call. Ding dong dell, hear the golden bell, a golden goose for glory, and a golden house to sell. Gold, you say? Hurry, lead the way, for the one who lives there shines as brightly as the day.
Pausing here, just to make sure we're all still at speed. Also, welcome, Derek. I'm glad you're enjoying the story. Excuse me. So the mice have gone off too far away. Erica, I have to go too. That's totally fine. It's been great. Really appreciate the diving deeper into the story, learning more about the characters. Yes. Looking forward to this. Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited about the next one as well. With how it's going and how much I ramble, I might literally just go to 4. If I can get to 6, I'd like to, but we might just get to 4. But thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. And feel free to come back to the stream and watch the rest of it, because I will be explaining things as we go. But something to look at this. So there's nearby and there's far away. I want to make sure that that's established. It was established in the first chapter. They were like, the maiden has gone far away. You're gonna hear that a bunch. You're gonna hear gone to nearby, gone far away, gone too far away, come nearby. You're gonna hear that repeatedly. Nearby is one land, far away is another. Far away has the rules of the Tulgey Wood, the Jabberwock, and like the Wonderland kind of aesthetic to it. So things are going to be a little bit different over and far away, usually a bit more mystical. You're going to look at nearby. Nearby has the children of Midas and where the mice kind of originated. Nearby also has a place called the Outskirts, which we'll get to as well. And you know where Jack and King Cole and all of that was. So just wanted to make sure that was understood. The mice have now been stumbling around blind for the last couple years, and they hear that there is a house of gold down there. Let's go over there, boo! So they're gonna go over there to see who owns this golden house. And lo and behold, it looks like it's Glory. Where did she get all that gold? Well, she's had the darn golden goose this whole time. So she got blessed by Jack and ran off with the goose, I guess. I'm making jokes to let you guys. I'm not going to reveal everything right off the cuff, but I still love Glory, and I will get into why later. But let's go here.
The brothers set out to check on the news, spreading through Tulgey Wood. Perhaps some excess gold they could use, and if that be so, they should. Glory is far away. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is fairest of them all? Knock, knock at the door, milady. Shall we turn them away? Not so. Let us have them in. May it be some fun begin. They seem to be rather shady. Perfect. Have them stay. Glory was to be a queen since the White Queen died. She was a wonder to be seen, it could not be denied. And she was powerful indeed. A golden house attracts all greed. Once in, none could get away, not even if they tried. 3 brothers came in at the door, still blind, though wearing smiles. Oh, happy to meet her once more. Yes, happy for their guiles. But she could see them out and through, and knew exactly what she'd do. She'd make toys out of these ones, too, to play with for a while. A plea?
Seems Glory might be a little manipulative. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Let's go.
To Glory. What can I do for you, adorable dears? Hunter and Joker pondered the gold. But Pan piped up, We've been blind for 2 years. And the story of their lost tales did unfold. I see, said Glory. Ah, you've reminded me of some wonderful days now ended. She shook her head. So, you need tales rebinded. And for your eyes, you'd like them mended. You can do that? Asked Hunter. You would do that? Said Joker. Said Pan. I'm glad that we're befriended.
I love you, Pan.
Glory chuckled. But I can give you something better. I have made a potion that can well enhance your being. It makes lightning sharper, armor thicker, roses redder.
Remember this.
And of course, you'll never again have a problem seeing. You can do that? Asked Hunter. You would do that? Asked Joker. Said Pan. Is this on sale?
I love you.
For this simple task, said Glory, I'll just need your tail. Our tails, said the brothers. Glory shrugged. Or find others who can do the things I do. No, not at all. We thank you. Rats.
Hi, James. Welcome. I love Pan. Little baby Pan is so cute. There is something though I do need to mention. Joker, like, who would do that? Yeah, I know, right? I love the brothers so much. I do so much. Um, but would be Pan. Oh, um, something to keep in mind is while I do have images to help guide the story along so you can kind of know what you're looking at, um, it doesn't one-to-one reflect all the time exactly what their ages are. Time has passed, they've gotten a bit older. That's something to think about. It's just something to know. Um, but yeah, I know Pan is just a sweet little bean. Uh, but I it's story of his little baby. I love baby Pan. But there's time has passed. Glory is old enough here that she has um, she's going to become a queen soon and all of this stuff. She's not quite queen yet, so I do want to make sure that that is understood. She is to be a queen. So that is coming up. The new setup, thank you. I just do this for story time, really. But I mean, if it catches on, we'll keep it for games as well. But I do like this; it's fun. Um, but yeah, so let's go ahead and continue. And James, feel free to ask any questions if you want. I'll bring you up to speed when we finish chapter 3.
How can a mouse be something great? If you mean something different, just take his prided tail away, and knot and turn and twist it, and voila, just like that, you've got yourself a rat. Pan became the piper with a wooden flute to play. Hunter is a thief who can steal even hearts away. Joker now can change his face to whatever he would be. And so they went to get their bowl and sail across the sea. Another story. 3 large rats went to sea in a bowl. If the bowl had been stronger, my story'd be longer. Water's mischief.
A little bit of
Dear ladies of the waters, O ocean's fickle daughters, may save or drown the ones who fall inside. These 3 rats should remember just how lucky was their venture, that all they really hurt was just their pride, though these 3 the water did divide. Joker now to nearby come, piper to the mermaid's glen, thief go back to far away and steal the hearts of fair women. The life.
There we go. That's the end of chapter 3. So something else about this book is that the humor goes fast. If I don't pause it, you gonna miss it. Not all of it, but it does go fast. There's little quips all throughout. So there's little snippets. One was 3 large rat mats. 3 large rats with the sea in a bowl. If my bowl had been stronger, the story'd be longer. That's an actual nursery rhyme. Um, uh, I don't remember if it's three something men went to sea in a bowl. If the bowl had been stronger, the story'd be longer. That's literally why there's a bowl in the story, was that nursery rhyme. So again, I combined a whole bunch of nursery rhymes, fairy tales, and stuff to make this story. And the nursery rhymes helped decide who the characters would be and what they would do. So something I think is fun about nursery rhymes is that they have characters already kind of preset, because you've got a Jack who usually jack of all trades, but you've also got Jack does this, Jack be nimble. You got like the name Jack personifies an idea to people, or did personify an idea to people back when the nursery rhymes were like a bigger thing, and so they would use the word or name Jack to be like a placeholder for this type of person, which is why you see Jack in the story going from being this little orphan kid, or well, not really an orphan. His mom put him on a shelf, and there he'd sit and cry because he couldn't spell. Basically, his mom thought he was stupid and not worth her time, so she neglected him, left him there, and he had to figure himself out. So he went out on his own. But he becomes a king, and then he loses his mind at the end. And he's the hero who climbed the beanstalk. He's all of these different things, and it kind of personifies a jack of all trades. You get to understand that kind of with him. You've also got uh, uh, a little aside with Glory. If you didn't catch it, Glory had this moment of reflection where the mice came up to her and was like, "Oh, all this stuff, Jack back home, da da da," and they tell their story, and Glory goes, "Ah, you've reminded me of some wonderful times now ended." So you can see that there's like a heart in Glory. It's one of the few moments you get to see in the beginning of the story where you see that Glory has a lot more to her than just manipulative. I'm gonna take this golden goose and run. No, your prestige you must lift. Like from from one perspective, Glory is awful. Because Jack goes up on this great quest, brings the golden goose down the beanstalk, like, here we go. Now I'm good enough for you, right, Glory? And Glory says, no, because no one knows you as anything more than a hack. So thanks for the money, but like, you gotta lift your prestige, and apparently that's not attached to money. So Jack has to go and become a king because he has to lift his prestige or something, right? Like, what you gonna do? You get to see that from like one perspective where it just seems like Glory's just an absolute awful person. But then you get these moments where you see that Glory cared. um Glory's eyes did follow Jack. Laughing, they go over here, holding hands, come over back. You see that there was a genuine connection. Uh, so still think about that because there's a lot more, and it has a lot to do with her brothers, but there's just a lot more depth to her, and it will be revealed as the story progresses a bit more. But right now, we're still following Jack for the most part, and of course, we're following the three mice, who are now the three rats. So when I said that there were other rats, or I kind of hinted at that when we were in chapter 1, you had the rat, which was the thief, hunter, thief, steal the hearts of fair women. That's gonna come into play in a major way, so keep that in mind. Um, Also, there's other hints throughout the story about who's gonna become what, and you've got Glory looking in a mirror saying, "Mirror, mirror on the wall." There's that, so that's kind of gonna give you a hint as to where her life is going. Who is Glory fashioned after? So thinking about Mirror Mirror on the Wall, that's gonna be one way to consider her. So like the wicked stepmother of Snow White is one way to think of her. But obviously Snow White's not here right now. So Glory is so far. I want to get into that in more depth. I really do. I want to wait till we get to chapter 9 because chapter 9 is her big chapter. Like that's the turning point chapter for Glory. It's my favorite chapter in the entire series. It's also the chapter that has the trigger warning, but I do promise I go through it pretty quickly, and it's something that it's just necessary to the story, and I don't linger on it. I just let you guys know what's happening. But there's always that TLDW. Even if you go to see it in the playlist, there's that TLDW at the end, so you can still get the story, and you can watch the first 10 minutes of the episode as well of chapter 9, and it won't have any of the trigger issues, so you can always pause after that, go to the TLDW, which is always time stamped. I'm very conscientious of that. But she has such an incredible story, um, that um, that I don't want to give too much about her yet. But we did reveal about the mirror mirror on the wall, so I do want you guys to be thinking about that. Also, be thinking about the sons of Midas. You've got the two brothers, the lion and the unicorn, and you've got Glory. These three are siblings. You're gonna see three sibling pairs a few times, but yeah, these three are siblings. So the two older brothers and Glory, the two older brothers dote on her. They they go out and they get treasure and all this stuff, and they're like, Glory is the most beautiful, and she is known throughout all of Nier as the most beautiful. She's the one everybody seeks after. And if you notice, she is young in the beginning of the story. In chapter 2, she is young. Um, it's yes, there are different time periods who believe different things or whatever. Sure, but this poor girl has been set up as the trophy from a young age. And so all of these guys are vying for her hand. Just think on that for a minute. Um, what that's got to be like as a young kid to deal with this all your life. And what that does to your mentality and who you are. But she is a symbol. She is a person. She is a younger sister. She's many things, and Glory is my personal favorite character in the entire series, bar none. So I do hope you guys get to know her a little bit better as we go further. So this could be my final chapter that I do today. We're at so usually my streams um go around 3 hours long, but this is a storytelling stream and I don't want to burn you guys out. But if you're able to, or if there's like attention for it or whatever, after chapter 4, let me know where your guys' mind's at, because there are 2 other chapters I'd love to do today if we can. um Reason being is the ending of chapter 6 ends on such a comedy note anyway. First of all, it's really fun. It shows all the shenanigans that happened in King Cole's palace during that time before it goes into the end of King Cole's reign in chapter 7. Um, and um, and then it does help me nicely separate the entire series into 3 parts, because you'd have 1 through 6 as like a good part 1. Then you have 7 that leads into 8, which gets the ending of Jack's story, and 9 that leads into 10, which is the turning point of Glory's story and everything that happens with Glory starting to take off in 10, which makes a really good um, comparison of like compare and contrast of these 2 lives that you've been following before you finish out Glory's story by the end of 12 and 13. I'd like to do that. If we can't do that, that's fine. We'll just go to 4. Not trying to burn y'all out. Storytelling is a little bit different than game streaming, and it does require some attention and participation. I just want to make sure y'all are even here. And we'll just leave it at 4 if we need to. But let's go ahead and play chapter 4. And James, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I am happy to answer those as we go. And who is Glory fashioned after is something I would love for you guys to continue to think about. She's just really deep. I love her so much. All right, chapter 4.
In times of
Ooh, hang on. Chapter 4 has one of the coolest endings. So if you can stay till the end of chapter 4, oh my gosh, it's the fire chapter. Chapter 4 is the fire chapter. I love chapter 4. Let's go.
Glory, Chapter 4, Eternal Coal. Jack went to the marketplace to earn himself a penny, but this would be a hardy feat, indeed he hadn't any. Little children passed him by, in song along the road. To market, to buy a fat pig, home again, jiggity jig. Eager parents set up stands or carried round their load. Old clothes to mend, old clothes to mend, for those in need, old clothes to mend. The market was very lively, and brought a wondrous smell. Hot cross buns, 1 a penny, 2 a penny, hot cross buns. But all Jack had aside from clothing was a silver bell. Ding, dong. This bell's all wrong. It will not toll nor play its song.
Pausing there just to make sure you understood the setup. So what has happened here, this is after the giant fell from the beanstalk, after Jack has gone to like we're going back in time just a little bit from where the mice have met Glory. So we're going back to Jack here. We saw the mice's viewpoint when they went over to Far Away, they met Glory, all that stuff, so they're progressing over there. Now we're going back to Jack to focus on him, what happened after the giant fell, after he gave the goose to Glory, and after Glory turned him down and said, "Nope, you ain't have enough prestige, baby." So now he has to figure out how to lift his prestige, because otherwise he can't get Glory's hand. He has gone off to market. He's gone off by himself. He obviously can't go back to home because his mom don't care about him one way or another. Doesn't even care that he's gone. So this is where we are with with Jack.
The children. Timmy, Timmy funny. He's like a little bunny.
Yeah,
Eager
Timmy.
hopping, never stopping, rainy day or sunny. Tommy, Tommy fully. He is such a bully. Whacking here and thwacking there and walking tall and coolly. Johnny, Johnny blue boy. Each day is a new toy. That little jerk, he doesn't work, he just invents a new ploy.
I love Jack.
As Jack was on the road out walking, 3 young children caught his eye. If not so comical their talking, Jack truly might have passed them by. Said Tommy, I went up a flight of stairs. Said little Timmy, just like me. I went up 2 flights of stairs. Said little Timmy, just like me. I went into a little room. Said little Timmy, just like me. I looked outside a little window. Said little Timmy, just like me. And there I saw a monkey. Said little Timmy, just like me. Tommy laughed for all his glee. Johnny laughed and slapped his knee. Jack came over, quite amused. Timmy scowled. Hey, who are you? Jack grinned and made his hands like claws, growling his throat to make them pause. Raw, I am your worst nightmare. Ah! The kids went running scared.
Jack is playing with them.
Timmy's home. Jack followed after them in fun until they got to Timmy's home. His granddaddy was on the porch, slowly rocking back and forth. Soft, granddaddy sang a song. Away, away, oh, working day, and leave me with the moon alone. Away, away, oh, striving day, and leave the moon with me. Little Timmy sang along. Away, away, oh, burning bees, and leave me with a peaceful song. Away, away, oh, flaming bees, and leave a peace with me. Granddaddy. What song is that? Jack asked the man. It is a lovely tune. It is a song from far away to celebrate the moon. They say the moon will bless a child once upon a time or two.
Remember that.
Then the man, he raised a brow and asked, So who are you? Jack told him of his wanderings and of a maiden's hand, of monstrous Potter, golden goose, and of his future plans. I must become someone great for mine to be with glory's fate, but all I own's this silver bell that doesn't ring. I understand. The old man smiled kindly. Timmy's mother's gone to market. When she comes back, I'll let her know we have another guest. Jack started. Sir, this kindness, I don't know how to accept it. Said the man, then no. You are to work and play and rest. Jack becomes his own. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All play and no work makes Jack a mere toy. But if Jack were a precious guest, and if he were to get some rest, then things might work out for the best.
Yay.
Jack stayed with them for a year. Wash the dishes, catch a fishes, ho, hi, ho. Jack, he loved them very dear. Mend a ribbon, sew a trimming, hi, ho, hi. Little Timmy was a brother. Blue boy Johnny was another. Like Jack, John had been alone until he'd come to Timmy's home.
They're all orphans.
Timmy's mother loved all children, even Tommy was welcomed in. Jack's life never felt so clear. Song a-singing, joy a-bringing, hum, hum, hum.
These 3 are
Timmy
brothers,
and
Tommy,
Jack.
Rin.
Timmy, tiny Timmy, what happened to your leg? It was just born smaller than the other. Timmy, tiny Timmy, what makes your walking strange? Shut your mouth or I'll go get my brother. Johnny? Johnny won't come. No, I meant the other one. See, there he is. Here he comes. Jack is strong. You'd better run.
Love you, Jack.
Jack came back from market with a basket full of clothes. Some kids ran fast away. Come, let's get hot cross buns from the baker.
The kids ran off.
Timmy laughed and came to greet
They
him.
don't want to mess with
Hi,
Jack.
Jack. What are those? Jack grinned. Extra cloth I got from the candlestick maker. Timmy made a face. Mama says he's a no-good tax man. Jack shrugged. He had extra. Get good, cheap things while you can. Bad things tend to happen, though, when that guy is around. Fire always follows him and likes to burn things down. Let's not think on it right now. Mom's birthday is close, right? I got this cloth for her. She works so hardy day and night. Until I can gain more prestige, I can't quite pay her back. But with some extra pocket coin, I got this cloth, said Jack. And we have eggs and flour, said Timmy, so we can bake. Good idea, said Jack. Then let's make our mom a cake.
All right, so keep in mind about the candlestick man or candlestick maker, whatever. Um, and uh, and yeah, I love Jack in this so much. He's great. But this is that story. You'll see.
A birthday wish. They celebrated birthday dreams and went to sleep that night. But Tommy came to call for Johnny so that they could fish. Timmy wanted to go too, but in vain made his plight. As they ran off, he woke up Jack and told him of his wish. Jack agreed to take him, and they tiptoed out the back, not knowing at the front that burning bees were coming in. The house began to crackle, but by the time the sound reached Jack, though he returned swiftly, there was no way he could win.
Yes, it's as
Mother.
tragic as it sounds.
The cruelest fate I've ever known is this: to live within your warm embrace and kiss, and find my comfort by your open arms, wherein you have protected me from harm, wherein I've found a joy that makes me strong, by which I've been corrected when I'm wrong, for which I live to fight another day, and wherein my tears are wiped away. This person who is grace, when I am wild. Mother, dearest mother of this child, to live within your tender loving care, and then wake one day to realize you're not there.
Remember, Jack was abandoned. And
Granddaddy Longlegs and Mother
found a mom. He
are
found a mom,
gone, and I do not know why I am alone.
and it's Fire's fault.
Jack's wrath. A fire rampaged through the town. It burned many homes to the ground. It targeted first any land of those who dealt with Candleman. The night was long with suffering, and hate raged hot for Midas King. Hot and high as any fire, and Jack's rage reached even higher.
They blame King Midas.
Candleman, Candleman, why take so much tax? I'm employed by great King Midas, that you won't be lax. Candleman, Candleman, all day we break our backs, and we will suffer you no more now that you've come to Jack's. Fire rage without, and it may burn down a house, but what it burns within will rage outside again. The fate of Midas.
What it burns within will rage outside again. What that's saying is that it burned down the house of Jack's family. So he, like, luckily the other brothers, Tommy and Johnny, had gone out to fish, and so Jack um, and Timmy were tiptoeing out the back to go sneak off with them. Had that not happened, they would have been in the house as well. But for whatever reason, Candleman, the candlestick maker, who um, um, Jack got a good deal on some cloth for their mom's birthday, um, came back to collect for something. Like it says, Candleman, why take you so much tax? Um, think on this. I'm not gonna fully give everything, but there was a question of, is fire personified? Yes. This is all connected. The fire, Candleman, tax, all of this is all connected. So just kind of be thinking about that. There are a few different ways to see this story, but yeah. So Candleman came, and just anybody who dealt with Candleman, anybody at all who ever got a good deal from this guy got betrayed by him, and lands were burned and all this stuff, and he thinks he's justified to do whatever he wants because he's employed by great King Midas. um so he's been free to just do whatever he wishes throughout the land, and now what burned the house now burns within Jack. Jack's fire is hot. He will not let this be. And everybody knows, no matter how No matter how sweet and kind or whatever Jack is, he is ruthless when it comes to exacting revenge. He is absolutely ruthless. You've seen it before, hints of it before, you're gonna see it again.
The people followed Jack to win their city back. They would not cower now, not after this attack. They stormed to find the king. For long he'd not been seen, not for a year or so. So then, where had he been? But when they got there, the palace was bare.
So King Midas isn't even here?
Statues in the halls of Midas, gold
Who's
between
been
our toes, gold without and gold inside us, strike a lasting pose. For we have touched the hand of Midas, all within its hold will surely turn to gold. They found Midas on his throne, his hand upon his head. He'd turned himself to precious stone, and now he sat there dead. Gold, oh sorrow, I will not see tomorrow, for all that I once had is precious gone. Hold, oh castle, to live here is a hassle, for I am ever captive and alone. Destruction and deliverance. Did this mean fire operated on its own? Jack had an idea how to face the flame alone. And this idea they would try, for no one else wanted to die.
Again,
What
everybody
defeats
lets
fire?
Jack do it.
Why water, my dear? What riles water? Why wind? What stops the wind? Why the earth does, my dear. And now we're back where we begin. Fickle ladies of the water, will you make a deal with me? You have pearls, but I have gold, that I will give you readily. Should you this fire devastate, for nothing does my heart more hate. The water rose up against fire, and fire was swept out to far away. Jack's prestige rose higher. He used half the gold as water's pay, the other half to rebuild the nearby towns and marketplace. Not even half was needed, so they used the rest for Jack's palace. For all the people did agree that they would have Jack for their king. He was most fit for the role and was crowned eternal coal. No matter how the fire burned, Jack's rage was stronger, it had learned. The life and times of glory.
Oop. Leave there. Okay. Alright, I need to know where y'all at. So that is the end of chapter 4. Some thoughts on this. Yes, I was very much in my feelings when I did chapter 4. I do highly recommend go back through and watch the episode on your own without any pauses, and just kind of get into the characters, just kind of feel them. But I wanted to make sure I was explaining along the way a little bit. But just because some of you guys have already seen the story, but just need the explanation. Others just need the explanation as we see the story. But yeah, this was like in chapter 1 where we said Jack was nimble, Jack was quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick. The fire fled to far away, so Jack the hero saved the day. This is that. This is so it was a riddle or slight shortening of the story of what happened with Jack. Jack found a place. Jack found a family. Jack, who had always been neglected, found a place to belong, found love, found rest, found peace. And then it was all taken away from him by fire and by the representations of fire, by the ones who bring fire. It was destroyed. And he utterly refused to let fire back into the land. He made a deal with water using the gold from King Midas' castle um, to pay the water ladies, the mermaids, and water overcame fire, and fire was swept out far away. Fire could not be here because now water took ownership. Um, yes, there is metaphor to this, but we're going to use it. We're going to look at it as face value. There's that thing that says, what defeats fire? Water, my dear. What riles water? Wind. What beats the wind? The earth does, my dear. Now we're back where we begin. Um, so uh, Jack thought logically. Jack went for the jugular. He was like, I'm getting rid of fire. This is never, ever, ever allowed to be in this place again. So then when you see later that the Piper, for whatever reason, because we haven't gotten there yet, but the Piper does come back to nearby, who is, you know, who Peter Pan, or well, Piper Pan was, Little Pan. Um, you see that the Piper came over to the king. So this is when, after Jack becomes king, you see that Piper came over and prithee the king for fire. He wanted to get fire back into the land. You can see why Jack, as King Cole, was not gonna have it. It didn't matter. It didn't matter the deal that was struck. He was gonna find something else. He was not bringing fire back into this land. He lost his entire family because of this. So yeah, he was not gonna let fire back in at all. There was no deal that was gonna be struck like that. But he did accept a deal and lied um to the Piper, saying, "Yeah, if you find the rat, I'll give fire back." But to be fair, who lied to who first, honestly? Because what was this rat? It's fine. We'll get into that later. But yeah, there's a lot going on. Um, but just looking at Jack and at his reasoning here, yeah, yeah. All right. So who all is in chat at the moment? Because I know Erica had to head out. I know Tectonic is doing his stream, so I know he had to head out. Um, I'm if you are still cool in chat, let me know. Just put like a little emoji, a happy face, a teacup. I'm drinking tea, though my tea is kind of a little bit cold at this point. I hope you guys are staying hydrated, please. We can absolutely do a slight break, go grab another snack real quick, put on some nice music, and come back and just do the other two chapters, or we can end the stream here. It just depends on where you guys are at. If you guys have some questions, now is the time. I mean, like any of the time is the time to type them into chat. But there are any things that you noticed or anything like that. Again, this is just like a community stream, so just let me know. Um, and I'm gonna pop over into this real quick and make sure. Whoop, make sure I can be. Yeah, I gotta go in a few. Heard, heard. And yeah, I know story streams might be a little bit long, a little bit be a little bit more um um intensive or stuff like that. So we may go ahead and end the stream here because I know um we had a lot going on. Um, I what I am gonna do is I am gonna have another one here. I like seeing about the character's growth. That's cool. Yeah, I do. Characters are the reasons I write stories. I know different people write different ways. Some write because they have like a world or a storyline they want to depict first. Not me. I see the characters first, and then I go, "What did y'all do?" And then watch them do things, and I write it down. So that's the way that I always write my stories: is characters first, and then find out what they do, and the story develops itself. Um, we are gonna definitely have another chill create, or well, we do chill creates a lot, but we're gonna have another story time chill create, which I may call a different thing, like story time. I don't know if it. So here's something about like when I spent some time away, to go like touch grass and such. Um, I uh I realized, music has to come back for me. So you're gonna see some more piano streams. I'll be like live streaming just freestyling piano just because that's what I do. That's my catharsis. Um, oh, Chance is back. Oh, at the same time that I might be ending the stream. Chance, I'm so sorry, baby. You should go back and rewatch the stream, definitely. Um, but right now I think I only have maybe Rin, Abigail, and James in chat, and Rin has to leave. Um, I know Tech has his own stream, so he can't be here. Um, and I know like a couple of us probably like either. I hope you fell asleep. By all means, sleep. I want to stream you guys to sleep. I love that. Um, and just chill with some good stories, because that's part of story time, is to help your imagination flow, and I want you to dream and stuff like that. So that's totally cool. Um, so you're gonna see some more uh, chill creates that are just me playing piano, honestly. Oh, DT is still there. Okay, awesome, awesome. And chances here. If there's enough interest, I'll continue, and whoever needs to leave can leave, and that's totally fine, because part of this um, is you can come back and watch these at any time. But I don't want to be streaming to no one, because it's part of this is to this is a community thing. I really need to feed off your energy, to know what questions to even answer, because I can only see it from my own mind. I can only see it from my perspective, what I've seen, and I can try to think what things might not make sense to you guys, but I don't catch them all. Like, I wouldn't have thought that maybe the Piper and the Joker were the same, until, Steph brought that up and asked, and I was like, oh, that's a good question. Let me go ahead and answer that. I wouldn't know this. So as long as you guys are cool to be here, um, for chapters 5 and 6, I'm happy to go through those, real quick. They're not too long. Um, each one of these is like roughly about 10 minutes. We haven't been streaming too entirely long. But that just depends. So just let me know. Um, but yeah, coming up, you're gonna see more music. You're gonna see some more story stuff. I'm working on getting the doll, which we've done in ChillCreate. I've read that to you guys before. It's a fantastic piece. I'm working on getting that story done, in kind of not exactly animated, but kind of ish. Taking the images that I have for that I drew, for the doll, and turning it into, like the illustrations that I did, and like moving it a little bit with the characters, and so it'll be like a fun read through. I'm trying to get that together. That's taking a lot longer than you would think. Um, I love Life and Times of Glory. I just miss Grumpy Grandpa Child who farts fairy dust. We will get more Grumpy Grandpa Child who farts fairy dust. We will absolutely get more of him. He is coming up in the doll, so that's gonna be the next big story time thing that'll be coming up. But each one of these story time streams will be announced well beforehand. You'll have the thumbnail will be up well beforehand, at very minimum a week in advance, just to let you know that it's coming up, give you guys time to know that you could be here, or what have you. Um, but yeah, so how we feeling, chat? So Chance, DT, Abigail, James, if you're still in here, I'm unsure. How are we feeling? Are we good for 2 more chapters, or we want to just go ahead and cut it here? Rin, if you have to go, that's totally fair, and then come back and see the ending of it. Feel free to type comments in the comment section in YouTube, when the stream is done or whatever, and I will answer comments as well. That's to anybody who sees the stream. Put stuff in comments, ask questions. I'm happy to answer questions. This is supposed to be like an interactive thing, but how y'all feeling? Do you want me to go through these last 2 chapters, and then we'll just make it 3 parts? Because if we do these last 2 chapters, we can make it just 3 parts. If we don't do these last 2 chapters, we're gonna have to make it 4 parts. Um, just depends on how we do. Um, I'm cool with either. But I don't want to put too much on your brains. Uh, I'm fine with both. What you feeling, Chance? You still here? Who else in the chat, boo-boos? Mm. Let me put on some zippy sound. I feel like there's nothing. Chance is like, yes! Okay, Chance. Alright, so we'll go over a little bit more then. I'm so excited to have you in this. I'm so glad you were able to come to one of these, man. I know it's been a hot minute since you've been trying to come to one of my streams, and it's just not been working out. I'm so sorry. Alright. Alright, no, I'm here for a resounding yes. Okay. Alright, we'll go a little bit longer. Whoever needs to come and go, totally fine. But let's go ahead and get these last 2 done. Um, I'll be here until I'm not. Fair. So fair. So fair. So fair. All right. So where we're going into with chapter 5, just a heads up, chapter 5 is one of the ones that seems a little bit slower. In one way, this was gonna follow the cat. So we have not focused on the blonde girl who went to far away, who got her life taken by the rat. We're gonna get more into her, but first we need to see her beginning. Her story, in my opinion, is pretty dang dope. But it's not all like action, action, action. It's a lot more. This one's gonna be a lot of uh, a lot of uh, uh, a lot of peoply things, doing very peoply things and screwing people over with peoply thingy ways. And I love Jill. I'm just gonna go ahead and call her Jill because that's what I call her. But the cat, Jill, just like in the story Jack and Jill, um, she she goes through a lot, and I love this baby girl. And she has to be in the background all the time to everything. So I want you guys to pay attention to her because she's more than just a background character. So there's a lot more depth to her. We will pause a little bit throughout just to make sure you're catching some of the nuances. But let's go, because this is the cat and the queen, baby. And I love the queen. So does Hi Hide, by the way. I don't think he's in here right now, but Hi Hide was making some comments about that queen. She's gorgeous. So let's go.
Chapter 5. The Cat and the Queen. Jill, the fisher's daughter, picked a bush of roses. The angry gardener came and caught her, grabbed her by her toeses. Train this stupid child of yours, she runs free like a cat. So the fisher sent her far away, and that was that.
I'm pausing here just so you understand what just happened. This little girl was just picking roses because she's a kid and she does stuff. Her dad was like, was told by his friend, train this stupid child of yours, she runs too freely. And so the fisher, Jill's dad, said, aight, and then just sent her off across the water. It was like, I guess I'm not going to deal with my daughter anymore. She's too much for me. Good dad.
Jill goes far away, on across the water, out across the sea. There she goes, my Lady Lee, my fair little daughter.
I'm saying this.
Perhaps one day she will come back. Perhaps one day she'll back to me. I will send her with a prayer, my fair little daughter.
That father can go suck a rock.
Arriving in a foreign land, she found a field well grown. She held her skirt tight in her hand, for she'd left all she'd known. Fair young Jill, with knowledge slight, at least knew well of roses, but roses were red, and these were white. This field could not be roses, right? Perhaps it was a trick of light. She should check, she supposes. But these were real. Oh, see this hue! There is but one thing she can do. She will not ask for if she may know. She will pick them, straight away. Fate is quite the strangest thing. This was the garden of the queen.
Uh-oh. Girl just picked some roses in the queen's garden. So, disconnected for a second, but you're back. Okay, so to bring you up to speed, Jill has a dad who just sent her off to far away because she picked some roses she wasn't supposed to, and she's a kid. And her dad was like, you're too rambunctious for me. You're too ADHD for me. I don't feel like dealing with you. So sends her off, and perhaps one day she'll come back to me. I'll send her with a prayer. And I honestly think her father can go suck rocks. So now little Jill, little girl, is going through this foreign land she's never been in before by herself. And she sees roses. She's like, I know roses. I don't know anything else here, but I know roses. But I know roses are red. Why are these roses white? What? So she goes, I need to check these out because, she's, again, a kid. She's just going to do stuff. So she goes and picks some roses, some white roses, and that's in the garden of the queen. So she might be in trouble. Let's go.
The White Queen. Cold and raw north wind doth blow bleak in the morning early. All the hills covered with snow, and winters now come fairly. There was a queen of ice, who sought a teller for advice. She thought it would be very nice to have a little daughter. But every time she'd live a year, she would shed another tear. Still she could not hold one dear. a precious little daughter. Perhaps, she thought, it will not be that a child come to me. O moon, O sky, O land, O sea, O let me have a daughter. Out into the field one day went the queen of far away. Not long after, quite the wave carried a little daughter.
That is
Oh, what a charming child she, with eyes as deeply as the sea. Was this how it was meant to be, that I might have a daughter? Jill finds a place. Jill looked up and saw the queen, then knew it at a sight, that she was in this woman's field and not so in the right. Quickly Jill devised a plan, and with the roses in her hand, she crossed the field and took her stand, then bowed to the Queen of Ice. Yes, she'd been picking free indeed, but hadn't meant it to be greed. She held the roses high to plead, for you, these would look nice.
Girl trying. All right, so little girl just found herself in big trouble. So she picked some roses back at home and got sent across the water to far away by her own father. So here she is in the garden of the queen, picked some roses and was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be in trouble. I picked these for you, queen. That's what I did that for. I wasn't for myself. I wasn't being greedy, and I wasn't being a kid and just picking roses."
And as it were, what happened next was nothing that Jill could expect. Raise your head, my child. Come, you'll have a place in my kingdom.
I like
The queen dotes. Little girl, where have you been? Gathering roses to give to the queen. Little girl, what gave she you? She gave me a diamond as big as my shoe. The queen took in a little girl. Oh, what a kindly thing to do. Although her hair won't keep curl, she is indeed a fairly girl. But oh, what a handful. She's just like a kitten. At every new sight in the land she is smitten. She is asleep. And then lo, she is wild, this curious, rambunctious, caring-free child.
ADHD,
Yet the queen and her cat led a peaceable life, when they were not troubled by other folks' strife. Hello, my kitten, and hello, my kitten, my dearie. Such a precious pet as this is never too far or too neary. The queen's prayer. The queen looked from her windowsill upon her roses white, glowing soft as the full moon within the blackest night.
I'll recognize this.
Then, as she was sewing, pricked her finger, and it bled. My daughter, to have skin so white, hair black, and lips so red. The moon heard what she said.
Who do you think that is? Come on, fairy tales, y'all know this.
Lucy Snow. A year passed, and the queen had a child, with skin as white as the snow. The girl's laughter was so sweet and mild. The queen, she loved her so. Jill, my precious little cat, will you be her maid? Of course I will, said the young Jill. Of course I will, she said. Jill is no one's daughter now, though she will treasure Lucy Snow, named by light of the full moon, shimmering in a winter tune. Yes, she will treasure Lucy Snow, and to her mother bow.
Do you guys understand this? What just happened? So, Jill found a place with the White Queen. The queen was like a mother to her. And the queen dotes, basically. So, Jill gets to freely be a child. But then finally, the queen has her own daughter, which is something she's been praying for repeatedly and repeatedly, repeatedly. And finally, the moon blesses her with a child, is what the vernacular says. So now the queen has her daughter and tells Lucy, or tells Jill, "Will you be her maid?" Jill is no one's daughter now, but she will treasure Lucy Snow. That's a big thing. That's something I respect about Jill. Jill goes through BS after BS in her life. She gets rejected by her father and sent to far away. So she's not her father's daughter. Then she gets she gets to be the queen's daughter, which is awesome for a minute, is what she thinks, but apparently no. Apparently she was never the queen's daughter. She was just a lovely little cat who I got to keep for a little while and tend to and think you were really cute. But I finally got my own daughter, so now you can be her maid. And Lucy is no one's daughter. And she finally realizes, I don't really belong anywhere. Nobody wants me. Just as me, really. I'm a servant. I'm a maid. I need to make myself better. I wasn't good enough for my father, and I got to be good enough for this queen who I like, because I mean, she was cool to me for a while, so I hope I can still, we can still be cool, but I obviously don't have a place. So I'm gonna be Lucy Snow's caretaker now. I'm gonna be the maid for Snow White. Um, but aside from that, I don't have a family, really, is what she's just realized. So that's something that's a pretty big deal, honestly, because Jill is doing her best, and maybe she messes up so now and then, but she's been a kid. But now, stuff that she dreamed of, having a family, thinking she had a place, thinking she was great, it was all taken away. And the reason why I respect Jill so much is that she could have used this moment to turn and become a wicked person. She could have. But what she decided to do, instead of letting the bitterness consume her, even though it hurt, instead of, making this a turn in a villain arc or something, like becoming this bitter, hateful person, instead she decides, I'm gonna treasure Lucy Snow, the one who took the daughterhood that I wanted. I'm gonna treasure her, and I'm gonna bow to her mother, who I thought was gonna be my mom. She's not. I get it. She's not my mom. She's the queen, and I'm gonna bow to the queen, and I'm gonna, I'm gonna serve the queen's daughter, and I'm gonna do so to the best of my ability, and that takes guts.
Jill tries her best. Snow's grandfather is Christmas. Her father's name is Klaus. Her handmaid catches mischief, easy as she catch a mouse.
Her handmaid is
Jill tried to keep from trouble, but it found her now and then. Once Christmas came to supper, to dote on his fair children. The White Queen and her handmaids worked to make his favorite things, but when they set out the display, there were no dumplings. The Queen cried, "The dumplings! Now who took the dumplings?" Jenny the maid said, "Bet Cat ate the dumplings."
Jenny.
The Queen took Jill aside and said crossly, "Oh, fie! Why did you eat the dumplings?"
Full disclosure, Jill did not eat the dumplings. She got framed for eating the dumplings. Jenny can also suck rocks. Let's go.
A rodent problem. Skitter, skitter, scurry. The mouse is in a hurry. Quickly, quickly, hide beneath a chair.
A mouse is here.
Shuffle, shuffle, scuffy. The cat is all a huffy until she notes the little mouse is there.
Guess which
I have
mouse?
seen you, little mouse, scurrying about the house. More dumplings you wish to steal to make yourself a hearty meal. Kitty cat, where have you been? I've been far away to look at the queen. Kitty cat, what did you there? I frightened a little mouse under her chair. The eras turn as...
I'm just not going to say too much more about it. I'm just going to say that that little scenario there is a really kicker, a hardcore little lore drop that you won't notice the first pass. Just keep it in mind. You'll get it.
Days grow longer. The storms grow stronger. The cat was made a hero to protect the White Queen's house ever since she caught a hunting, thieving little mouse. She was held in much esteem, and she learned secrets from the Queen, for the Queen knew all too well the sound that rang from Ding Dong Dell. Yea, if it was a silver bell, then everything would turn out well, but now it rang with bells of gold. The Queen's life would but shortly hold.
Silver and gold.
Gold and fire often come together, and they do not long suffer winter weather.
Keep that in mind.
The garden. "Queen, my queen," asked the cat one day, "how does your garden grow?" "With silver bells of harmony, and pretty maids like you." "Queen, my queen," asked the cat one day, "how can you be so fair?" "I keep music all around, and ribbons in my hair." "Queen, my queen," asked the cat one day, "how is your power so?" "If you're a queen, you can do such things." Would you like me to teach you?
It is not very hard, it seems, for cats to walk around like queens.
So what happened there? You may have noticed that Glory has a strange power where she can um, kind of give things a metamorphosis, make roses redder, armor thicker, blades sharper. Um, well, this queen also has a power as well. So it's saying that when you're a queen, you can do such things. If you are a queen, if you become a queen, or if you are queen material, um, you will have some kind of power of some sort. Another thing to keep in mind is yes, gold and fire often come together. They do not long suffer winter weather. Gold and silver both have different agendas or different tones, not necessarily agendas, just different they're different, basically different eras is a good way to think about it. Or um but the queen notices the turning of an era, basically. Ding dong dell, can you hear the bell? She notices that the bell, the sound of society now, is that um is that it's turning away from silver and turning toward gold. And that means that her time is probably going to end, probably soon. She notices this and she's caring about her daughter.
The Protector. When the cat had learned some power, the weakened queen now sought her aid. She worried much about her daughter, and since Jill had been her maid, maybe Jill would be the grace, enough to keep her daughter safe. Jill used the power of winter ice to craft a creature plenty nice, for over Lucy Snow to fly, and keep on her a watchful eye. As long as Snow is still alive, this protector would survive.
Big deal.
Do you need a protecting saber? Better than a sword. Create for yourself a jaber, fierce, I give my word. But never twist it, don't you dare, lest walky it become. Lest all walky it become, do not twist it, please take care.
Did you recognize that? Did you catch it? The Jabberwocky? Please say you did. All right, we're going to go.
The End of the White Queen. Lucy Snow was just past 3 when the White Queen ceased to be. Glory came when Snow turned 4, her stepmother evermore. Jill was sent off by the water for caring for the White Queen's daughter, but she's a letter from King Klaus how she can deftly catch a mouse, and he believes that she will bring good fortune to the nearby king.
Okay. That is literally the end of chapter 5. So chapter 5 is really short, for the most part. It's just letting you know what happened in Jill's past, that got her from um, far away to nearby, what ended up getting her hired into the king's court. And the king, as we now know, at this point now, is Jack. It's no longer King Midas. So while Jack was young, King Midas was the ruling king. But then you found out that apparently King Midas been dead for a hot minute and his little candle man was going around running rampant. So Jack got rid of the candle man, got rid of the fire, became the king, and now he needs somebody who can help catch a mouse. Because he's got a rodent problem. Or a rat, really. So when Jill gets sent away from far away to nearby, um, and you go into depth about why she gets sent away. But for now, we just get to know that she lived in the palace of the White Queen. She helped raise Lucy Snow, that is Snow White, um, for a little bit, and then she got sent away when Snow was young. Um, this is very important also to note. Remember that the era is turning, that there's gonna be fire or whatever. Jack sent fire to far away. That's why the Queen of Ice died. She got sick because she couldn't be in that environment, in the environment of gold and fire, because now you've got the golden goose is over far away, you've got the fire is in far away, and you got rid of King Midas in nearby, which means that there's a whole completely new rule in nearby. So everything has changed in Far Away now, and now Far Away is going to be under a more golden rule, most likely, and not in silver where it was before. That's something to think about as you're looking at the story. All right, so this is the most fun chapter coming up. It's chapter 6. I love it. It's a whole bunch of shenanigans. It's really just shenanigans. I love it for shenanigans. It did drop like every pixel it could possibly drop while still letting you see what was happening on the screen. So just a heads up about that. I tried to clean it up as best I could, but there goes my pixels. If you have any questions about 5, please drop them. Chance, you weren't here for 1 through 4, really in much depth. I think you saw a good bit of 1, but not everything. So go back and watch some of that on the stream when you get a chance, and that's going to help bring you up to a little bit of speed. But what we know now, the things to know going into chapter 6 basically is that chapter 6 is what happens in King Cole's palace. So this is Jack is now King Cole. You've got the cat, who is Jill, has now been hired into there. You're gonna see the return of Timmy, Tommy, and Johnny, because I love them to pieces. And they are kind of like Jack's surrogate family. Basically, he was one of the people adopted into the family of the woman whose house got burned, and she died as well. So now Jack, as king, has decided to take his um, his adoptive brothers in with him to live with him at the palace. So that's going to be where we are here.
The Life and Times of Glory, Chapter 6, Tales in King Cole's
I love
Palace.
Johnny. He is such a butthole.
This is the house that Jack built. The village people paid a quarter of King Midas gold to grandly build a palace for the brand new king. This is the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. They brought a hefty tribute to their king, Eternal Cole, every extra coin or gem or wondrous thing. This is the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. Joker came across the water in a crafty mood. He made a play of many while he danced and sang. This is the cat that caught the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. But Jill, the fisher's daughter, thought the Joker plenty rude. She hoped to catch him in the act and have him hang.
Jill vicious.
This is the dog that worried the cat that caught the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. Johnny loved the Joker's wit, and many pranks he tried. These many pranks would often get him in her way. This is the cow with the crumpled horn that tossed the dog that worried the cat that caught the rat that ate the malt that lay in the house that Jack built. Thank goodness for the milking maid. In her motherly spry, he pointed to her nose and since was spanked each day.
So this is the house that Jack built is an actual nursery rhyme. You can look it up. It's fun. I love it. It's one of my favorites from my childhood. I was so happy to be able to put it in. But if you go back through it on your own, if you'd like, you can see this is the house that Jack built, and then it explains what the house is. So this is the palace. This is the malt. It says that's the gold, the treasure that was in there. It goes into the dog, which is Johnny, who is lazy. You've got the cow with the crumpled horn, who apparently does not like Johnny very much because he pointed to her nose and since was spanked each day. So we're gonna find out what happened with that. I love Johnny. He's such a little stinker. Let's go.
Jack's longing. Jack had been nimble. Jack had been quick. Jack had jumped over the candlestick. The fire fled to far away, so Jack the hero saved the day. He sits now by the sill to say, I wonder if she'll come today.
He's thinking of Glory.
Glory doesn't. Jack could never figure out what more that he could need. If Glory was to come to him, should he gain more prestige? Every night before to bed, he'd open up his drawer to reveal a silver bell that rang for him no more. Timmy, Tommy, Johnny, they were his fiddlers 3. All had lost their parents in the past catastrophe. Jack would call upon the jester for dancing and for song, for with such entertainment he could make himself feel strong. But it did not last long. Oh, what had he done wrong?
Sorry, baby.
Joker's prank.
Big A, little A, bouncing B. The cat is in the corridor and can't see me. The king called for supper, all on a fine day, and a prank the joker would try. He spent a sixpence on 4 and 20, put them all in a pie. When the king did go to slice it, oh, how great his cry! Though he could see it, could not believe it. 24 blackbirds flew by.
Flew straight out
Johnny
of the pie.
laughed. Ha ha ha! Joker sang. Fa la la. Oh, sing a song of sixpence, pocket full of rye, 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. 'Twas not a dainty dish to set before a king. The milkmaid. The king was...
I'm gonna pause real quick just so we can take. Joker is fun. I like the Joker. He's a manipulative butthole, but he has such fun pranks. I like him. Apparently Johnny likes him too. It's fun. Let's go. But yeah, there's a old nursery rhyme. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie. When the pie was opened, the birds began to sing. Was it not a dainty dish to set before a king? Is an actual nursery rhyme. I put it in the book as one of the shenanigans. I love it. Let's go.
The counting house, counting out his money. The cat was in the corridor, eating bread and honey. The maid was in the garden, hanging out the clothes, when down came a blackbird and snipped the tip of her nose.
Most of these are
Johnny.
nursery rhymes.
Johnny saw the milking maid, holding fast her nose. She was coming in that day from hanging out the clothes. Johnny pointed, ha ha ha, a snip-nosed witch. The milkmaid grabbed him by the ear and gave his rump the switch. Timmy. Timmy stopped.
So, lady was out kind of putting up clothes. Crow came, snipped the tip of her nose, and Johnny points and laughs. So now, yeah, he in trouble.
Would run about if only his legs allowed it. But he can play music each day, for Toymaker endowed it. Jill, I am ever far from home, though near I have returned. I will ever stay alone, as once again I'm cut from the White Kingdom. Would you please come to my side, for I have read the letter from King Klaus. Here within my palace you shall evermore abide, as I could use one who could catch a mouse. Timmy and Jill. A fiddle for your daughter, a fiddle for your son. I'll fiddle and a fiddling until my tune is done. Timmy saw the cat one day, sitting on her sill. Would you like to hear me play? I'm not tired still. The cat looked to Timmy, put a smile on her face. Thank you. What a perfect time, and quite the perfect place.
Jill really likes the violin. She can't play, but she really likes it. Having a rough day, she's been sent from far away to nearby. At the moment, she and Jack aren't quite an item yet. She's just kind of got here, and things have just been rough. But Timmy has been this little sweet little bean, and we love Timmy. But you're gonna see more of Timmy, and don't forget that Timmy Stout was in chapter 1, so just a nod.
Jill ponders. Oh, how I wish I could keep music in my room to sleep. I know. I'll marry a man someday if only music he can play. I won't be my father's daughter. Yea, I will not be his Jill. I will be a fiddler's wife, and I'll have music as I will. T'other little tune, prithee play me t'other little tune. Johnny's tall tale. Johnny Blue Boy, go and fetch some eggs. So Johnny went to market, but soon tired out his legs. He rested by a tree, and under it he slept. When he awoke 'twas night, and his promise wasn't kept. So what a story he did craft. To believe it will not be daft.
I'm just gonna say, this is my favorite story, and it's an actual nursery rhyme. Let's go.
As I went out to market, all on a dainty day, I met the finest ram, sir, that ever fed on hay. Upon hay, upon hay, upon hay, the finest ram, I say. This ram was fat behind, sir, and certainly before. This ram was 10 yards round, sir, no less, and nary more, no less, and nary more, a great ram, I am sure. The horns that grew from his head, sir, they were a wondrous high. As I can plainly say, sir, they quite near reached the sky. The sky, oh, this ram, I say, oh my. The tail that grew from his back, sir, was 6 yards and an ell, and it stopped me to go to market at the sounding of the bell. The bell, oh, I could not pass, as you can tell. It's so I was scared. How it weakened my legs. Because of this ram, I could not get the eggs.
Freaking love Johnny. I love Johnny. I love Johnny. I love Johnny. He's such a butt. He's such a butt. I love him. Anyway, I love this. Basically Johnny's just lazy. He didn't want to get eggs. He just went to sleep under a tree, and then he was like, I'll make up a story about a ram, because... And they're like, all right. I love Johnny.
Foolish Tommy. Foolish hearty Tommy Lin kissed the maids a-milkin', fa-la-la, and with his merry daffing, he ran off a-laughing, ha-ha-ha. Tommy and Bess went to market for flour, milk, and eggs. Tommy was a fiddler, Bess a milking maid. Thank you, lazy Johnny, for this fine walk on a Sunday,
Thank you, Johnny.
said Tommy to Bess. Wilt marry me on Monday? Johnny can't help it. Johnny and Timmy went out to play when Bess passed them by. Tommy came a touch behind, his face not held so high.
She's not gonna marry you.
Timmy asked the matter, and when Tommy said why, Johnny could not help but laugh so hearty he could cry. See, what shall I see? A clumsy bull's head where his tail should be. Tommy isn't happy. Tommy thought it quite a nuisance staying with those boys. He stole some eggs to make a few pence and buy himself some toys. As I was going to sell my eggs, I met a man with bandy legs. Bandy legs and crooked toes, I tripped up his heels and he fell on his nose. Joker's prank 2.
Tommy is a butt. I like Tommy as well. Tommy is called a bully or whatever, and he is. He's a little snot as well. But I don't understand what went through his head why he was all like, oh, hi, Bess. Since we're having such a fine walk, will you marry me tomorrow? No. What? No. Love him. Let's go.
King Cole was a merry young soul, and a merry young soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. Oh, how the cat loved music, but could not carry a tune.
This is a good prank.
She longed to play the pipe, or yea, the fiddle for the moon. The only sound she ever found that she could e'er play well was tucked inside a secret drawer, a lovely silver bell. The Joker thought he might be kind and give the cat a fiddle. But I can't play, she did remind. He gave his finger a twiddle. And never fear, oh darling Jill, it plays a magic tune. Was it not your dearest wish, playing music for the moon? This instrument, he lied, will play the clearest melody at moonlight's touch, so that you'll best even the fiddlers 3. In truth, she did not heed him at first, but a cat's curiosity can be a curse. She took the fiddle and wished for the best, while Joker set the stage for the rest.
So just to put in perspective what just happened, Jill really loves music. She can't carry a tune. So Joker thinks this will be a fun prank and says, I have a magic fiddle and I'm going to give this to you so you can play, but it only works under the light of the moon. So you got to wait at night. We'll just, and once night comes and the moon shines down on it, then the magic will activate and you'll be able to play just as well as the fiddlers 3. And Jill, who is suspicious of the jester, who is the Joker, it doesn't believe him at first, but cat's curiosity. She's got that curiosity in her. She just really wants to play music. So finally she decides, you know what, fine, I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see. She's thinking, I'm just gonna go out there with the moon and stuff. The Joker decides to set up a whole shindig. And this is what happens.
A feast was set by the jester. He said it would be a surprise. The day was done, the night was young, the moon was in the skies. Jill stepped out with her fiddle, and Jack smiled as she came. Timmy sat beside him, and Johnny did the same. Yet Tommy already finished his food and eyed the Joker's plate. He was still hungry, wanting seconds, but dared not ask the maid. If Jester and Johnny could play their pranks, then this should be Tommy's turn today. He'd play a prank on the Jester himself, and steal his food away. Jill put the bow to the fiddle to try, and That was the moment it all went awry. Hey diddle diddle, cat can't play the fiddle. The cow was scared up to the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, while Joker's dish ran off with his spoon. Jack and Jill.
I don't know how that came to me, but I heard the Hey Diddle Diddle poem or nursery rhyme, and I just really wanted to put it in the book. And then I was like, well, how do I put it in the book? And all of a sudden the Joker came to mind, and it was just like, boom, the whole prank is there. So that's the Hey Diddle Diddle prank. I think it's cute.
There sits a little kitty,
But yeah,
eyes
poor
so
Jill.
pretty, with a glistening
She
ocean
really wanted to
hue.
play.
Oh, what a precious pity while you're sitting by the pale light of the moon. Are you all right? Asked Jack. I know that Jester went too far. It's okay, said Jill. She was staring at a star. Sorry, said Jack. I really did want to hear you play. Jill sighed. I can't. I don't know how. That's all she wished to say.
I'm sorry.
But Jack sat down, took off his crown, and looked up at the sky. I'm glad that you love music too, for certainly so do I. Perhaps too much. That's why one clumsy day I grabbed this bell. He held it up. It's beautiful. It suits you. Very well.
This is how the bell
She
came into
stared
her
at it,
possession.
then stared at him. But he stared at the ground. However, he said quietly, it doesn't make a sound. But it did before, he added quickly, and my wish is that one day, in the hands of someone fair, this bell will once more play. Jill, silver bell, oh silver bell, will ring with maiden's trek. This is why her head's held high, it hangs around her neck. A wonder only she can bring, to make this silver bell now ring.
Just pausing there. So in chapter 1, remember that Jill, as the cat, went to the teller, who was the Joker, unfortunately at the time, and the teller was like, um, I don't work for free. And she was like, right, let me pay you. Will this necklace do? That was the silver bell that Jack gave her. She was so, Jack was more important to her than the bell was. And that means something pretty big to me about her character. Again, she seems like such a background type character because she's not like overly featured or overly watched upon. But look at her character. Like, she wants to play music and can't. She even trusts some guy she knows is suspicious because she wants to play music so badly, and it turns awful, and it blows up in her face. And then Jack not only shows care for her, is now kind of fallen in love with her here. Like, it's kind of really sweet how this is at the moment. They're not quite fully in love or anything, but he recognizes something in her. She makes him smile. He makes her smile, and he gives her this silver bell that didn't ring. Like, it rang only up in the Potter's place in the sky, the giant's place. So by the time Jack came down from the beanstalk, the silver bell was not ringing anymore, and he couldn't get it to ring. But he's like, my hope is that in the hands of someone fair, this bell might once more ring, and she gets to wear it, and it rings for her and only her, nobody else. So she actually, only her, gets to play this music, gets to make this music, just her. It's so precious. She can walk around and music follows wherever she goes, and this is something she's wanted her whole life, right? And in chapter 1, you realize that she loved Jack so much by the ending of, of everything in King Cole's palace. She was willing to give up her necklace, the only means of making music, and only she could make music with it. It was a special, like, you are the pivotal bringer of this silver sound, whatever. Like, she could have just been like, this is my promise, this is my me, I'm this identity, and I want to hold on to this. She didn't. Her character was the type of person who would be so selfless to even give up debatably the most precious gift she'd ever received to find Jack. That's a lot more of a hardcore love than I think you will ever realize on your first pass through this story if you're just watching casually or reading casually. Um, but I wanted to note it because Jill is remarkable without ever standing at the front lines. And I think that's pretty cool. I love Jill. Okay, this is the last bit.
Jack versus Joker. Jack. I wonder if days will stay so calm as this. Joker. If the world were apple pie and all the sea were ink and all the trees were bread and cheese, what would we have for drink? Jack. Hear now my wish, that each day brings such bliss. Joker. If wishes were horses, beggars would ride. If turnips were watches, one would be at my side. And if ifs and ands were pots and pans, there'd be no work for tinkers.
That's literally the end of the chapter. I'm pausing it here because I have bloopers. So stick around. I got some bloopers. They're not big, but this is a little bloopers at the end of chapter 6. I really liked it. But that right there is definitely a riddle because the Joker likes to speak in riddles, specifically likes to speak in riddles. Like whereas other things are in the story are maybe unintentionally a riddle, like just because it's done in verse and a mixture of nursery rhymes. Joker is definitely being a riddle master here. And being a butt. If you look at what he just did, the king is like, it's blissful. I wish this stays. And he mocks wishes. And it's like, I wonder if things can just be this beautiful. And he's like, ain't gonna be. So yeah, you can see who the Joker's gonna become by the way he interacts there. Let's go see it. Go ahead and see these quick little bloopers.
Jill, the fisher's daughter, thought the Joker... This is the dog that worried the cat, that caught the rat, that ate the ball. That worried the cat, that ate... Oh no.
That took so
that
freaking
tossed
long.
the dog that worried the dad. Johnny loved the Joker. Johnny loved the Joker. And many playing fiddle and a fiddle in little A. What? That grew from his backyard. What? The life.
All right, that's it. That's everything for today. That's everything for W. Pause on this really weird smile. But what did you guys think of the story? What did you guys think? Honestly, those little bloopers don't remotely tell everything that I went through to try and get this done. Oh my gosh. Coming up next, we're gonna see a lot more about Piper Pan. And you're gonna see. So chapter 7 is the Pride of the Pied Piper. Chapter 8 is Jack the Ripper. Chapter 9 is 3 Children of Midas. Chapter 7 is one that gives a lot of background lore that I definitely want people to pay attention to. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's one of those that probably won't be rewatched much because people don't realize how much is in it. There's a lot in it. Just like chapter 5 has a ton of deep lore in it, and again, it's mellower. It doesn't stick out as much at first. It's not like out in the forefront, but they've got a lot of hidden gems in those. So chapters 5 and 7, highly recommend just kind of revisit them with another eye after you've like taken a look at the other stuff and whatever. But just you'll see some really deep nuggets in there. Chapter 7 I love leads up to chapter 8, which is Jack the Ripper, which is one of my all-time favorite chapters, and it's a don't be afraid of the chapter is what I will say. If you hear that name and you're like, ah, I know that there's multiple different ages in my audience. I promise you, I promise you, I promise it's good. It's good. It's debatably one of the most wholesome of the chapters. But it's also definitely also does feature a Ripper. I'm just saying it's fine. It is also what it says it is. But you'll see, you'll understand when you get there. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's good. Watch it. It's awesome. I love it. So, gaming streams. Oh, Chance, if you're having issues following me, you can follow me over on Twitch as well. All my streams are always streamed on Twitch too. So if you're not able to see stuff on YouTube, you might be able to just see it on Twitch. The next time we do another one of these, like right now I'm streaming on Twitch too. You can go over there and check. It's the same name, Chronicler 9. I'm on all of the things as Chronicler 9. This picture is bothering me. I need to get rid of it. I need to get rid of this. That smile is bothering me so badly. Yes, the next explained video for Life and Times of Glory will probably be in a month. I can't do these every single week. Oh, you don't have Twitch. Okay. I'm sorry. But I do stream that face. I do stream every like Thursday through Saturday. I do various games. It's not normal that I do a Saturday ChillCreate stream. This particular ChillCreate stream was done on a Saturday because there were a lot of people who are interested in the story who aren't my gaming type community. So we have different types of communities in the channel. We've got people who are here for the games, some are here for the music. I'm surprised you're still around. There's more music coming, so thanks for not unsubscribing, I guess. There is going to be more music, I promise. Some are here for the lore, like the sassy grandpa child who farts rainbows is coming up. You'll be seeing a lot more of him as well. I love you, Michael. And other stories, like Times of Glory and other such things that I've done. And the people who enjoy the story stuff, most of them are not actually able to, at least in my community at the moment, are not actually able to make it to weekday streams. So I did this on a weekend. I did this on a Saturday to let them have a chance to come in, take a look. This has been fun. I loved this. Thank you guys so much. Everybody who came out, thank you so much. Like seriously, I know is a little bit long. I hope you guys can like come back and watch it again in your own time. Enjoy the stories for yourselves at your own pace. I do highly recommend watch them for yourself at your own pace. Feel free to pause. Feel free to think. They're great. There's a lot more I did not touch on. There's a lot of that's what I meant to do. There's a lot of deeper connections and stuff you'll be able to see if you're paying attention. And there's a greater evil than the evil that's presented in the story in the forefront, just to let you know that as well. So you're gonna have some like antagonists coming up and all that stuff, and it'll be like the main story that you see. There's stuff going on in the background. There's a really big evil going on in the background. And if you guys can piece that puzzle together, power to you. It's in there as an extra chapter 14 that I did not publish on the channel yet, and I will eventually put that up on the channel. My footage for that is gone, because my hard drive died. We all know this. Most of us in the community already know this. This is not, new news, but because of that recording, and info and that stuff that I have for that, oh, I didn't fully record 14 though. That's fine anyway. But the stuff, the write out, the script for 14 is gone. So I have to redo the script and all of that stuff as well. I do have to end the stream, baby. I can't do any more than 6. 6 is the most for story time. And I do want people to be able to come back to this and revisit it if it gets to be multiple hours. They might not revisit this. We usually end around 8. We usually do 5 to 8 as my streams, Eastern Standard. But yeah, there's going to be a new schedule coming up. You're going to see it in the thumbnails. I always post my thumbnails by Monday evening USA time. So if you're over in Australia or Middle East, as some of our communities is, that's going to be on your Tuesday morning. Like, so by your Tuesday morning, there will be the full lineup. You're going to see all of the thumbnails up. We will be doing more chill creates as well, which usually are on Tuesdays. I haven't been doing them right now because I've been working on the doll, and I've been going over to my friend's house to work on that with him as well, on my Tuesdays. So once that's done, I'll pop back up and we'll have some more chill create streams as well. But Look forward to the new lineup. Yes, we're going back into Souls games. Holla! I can't wait to get back into my Elden Ring, baby. And so yeah, that's fun. Uh, but oh my gosh, Manny, you came at the right at the end. Oh, but thank you for coming by. Please feel free to rewatch the stream. It was fun. We had a blast. I want to thank everybody who came by. DT, Chance, Lashonda, uh, Dance, Steph. Thank you for coming by. It's so cool to see you here. I'm really excited to see that as well. Shonda, I miss you so much. Oh my gosh. Tectonic, thank you for being able to pop in for a minute. Rin, sending love everywhere. Moni, no, all the love, all the love. It was great and absolutely highly recommend watch it again. Watch it for yourself when you feel like just being a little cozy. Erica, thank you so much for coming by. Faye, thank you for coming by so much. Oh my gosh, I hope you enjoyed your wine. I hope it knocked you out. You could just sleep. I love it when my streams help people go to sleep. I really love that. It makes me very happy. We had James popped into the chat. Thank you, James. Abigail, thank you so much. Thank you, bots, for popping up on Twitch. But you guys, this has been fantastic. I love this. I'm looking forward to doing this again next month. I'll let you know at the very bare minimum a week in advance. You'll see the stream posted up there, the thumbnail posted up there. Just hit notification. It'll pop up on your phones. And I will see you guys in the next stream. Stay gorgeous, peeps. Ah, Chance, you sweetie. Thank you for being a sweetie. Aw, thank you guys. Stay gorgeous, all right? Bye. Mwah.